Hi. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the DeBrief TV show. We're happy to be here with you again. We're happy to be alive on another Tuesday to bring conversation. Right, so sorry about that. Technology and itself. So, as I said, welcome to the show. We're happy to be here with you. We're happy to bring another show. And we would ask that you bear with us for a minute. As usual, we like to share the links to the persons that are waiting to see us come on live. So we're asking just to bear with us while we bring forth that link right now and share that link with everyone. You already shared it. So go here. Sorry, I'm just trying to get Patrick shared here. Copy link. Go to your page, Patrick. Go to your Patrick here, right? Go home. Right? This is it. Alright. Right. Just trying to get the guest shared here. Post it. Good to go. Right. So we are sharing the link with persons. We're asking that if you could also take the time to share the link with your followers, that would be grateful. That way we can bring the show to everybody that has been waiting to see the show tonight. And as I said, it's going to be a very exciting show because we actually have in-house a very exciting guest who is no stranger to any of us. And we really want to bring this show to everybody so that everybody could, understand what is going on. Everybody know our guest. We're going to introduce him in a moment or two, but we're asking you to share. We want everybody to be engaged in this conversation, so we're asking you to share the link as much as possible, right? Because we're going to enjoy tonight. Now, we're going to welcome your questions. So if you have a question, please feel free to give us your questions. I think there may be a possibility for some call-ins. We have been trying to see how we can accommodate persons that want to call into the show. So there may be a possibility for that. We still have to work that out per se. But nevertheless, we want to hear from you. We want to hear what you have to say. Now, as usual, I'm your host, Kimar Safri. And here with me is my co-host, Kimar Stewart. Jeremy Bedford just jump off set to come back in a second or two. But then we have the Manny joining us. Simon is not here with us today. But we have our group. We have our team. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you have to say. Join us. Now, we also want to welcome our exciting guest for the evening. He's no stranger to us. He's no stranger to you. He's no stranger to Barbados in a whole. He's been a guy that we've heard through and through as it relates to election. We've heard that's how we actually start to know this individual through the whole political, the whole election, as I would say, last 2 years ago, and since then he's become a voice to be reckoned with. He's spoken on a number of issues. He highlighted Barbados to a number of things, and he's become a household name in his own rights. And he's been spewing, on social media for a while. We all got caught up with our guest here, who is none other than Mr. Patrick King, the famous, Patrick King from Facebook, but he's live with us today to talk about the way forward. And I thought it interesting to have Patrick as a guest, and coming from this perspective that Patrick has spoken so much about the way forward in a lot of his speech, what he would like to see in Barbados, what he would like to see change. And he's spoken to that a number of times in a number of his videos. So we thought it would be really good to have someone like Patrick come on the show, share with us his thoughts as it pertains to the way forward. Seeing that he played a key role in election, he played a key role in sensitizing Barbados. So having Patrick here this evening to really say how he feels. We're going to be discussing things like how he feels as it relates to the economy, how he feels as it relates to the performance of the party that we know have in power. So we're going to let Patrick delve into a number of things. We're going to ask that you as well engage us, share with Patrick, share with each of us your questions, your queries, whatever you have to bring, right? Close the whole thing. I'll go back again, and we will definitely start to think. But what we want to encourage you to do as well, please, if you can, is also share the link so that others can view that may want to see our guest Patrick King take a go at a number of things on tonight's show. So without further ado, without hearing me so much, Patrick King, welcome to the DeBrief TV show. Over to you, sir. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, Kevin. Let me from the outset say thanks to not only yourself, but to all those persons who would have made special commitment and time to come to the show and participate in our discussion.
Awesome.
I take it that on this occasion that we should use every opportunity in this country to ensure that Barbadians are awarded or given the best of what it is to offer. I'm not clear as to what the first subject would be. I don't know what your first subject matter that you would want me to dive into. But you can share with me that I can have a discussion on it.
Fair enough, keep on.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My first question would be I personally know you from being on social media, speaking on the politics of Barbados. So could you share a bit with us as to why or what would have motivated you to take on such a mammoth task, particularly speaking against a government of the day, and what inspires Patrick King to wake up every day and fight the fight that he fights?
Well, the truth is, the question is twofold. And that is that when I look at what was happening around the country, the mess in the state for which the country was in, I thought that the country had lost its direction. And as a direct result, I felt that I had a fiduciary responsibility to say something or do something as a citizen of Barbados. So I decided that what I would do is mount my platform and speak to the citizens of the country. And speak to the citizens of the country as it relates to what the country was going through. And with that in mind, what happened is that a number of individuals, public servants, people who work in the private sector, they're too being unhappy, furnished me with a number of things that concerned them. And I felt that once I compile the information, do my thorough research, that I could then come to the people of this country and give them the necessary information that will help them to better understand why Barbados is at the stage that it is at. The truth is that while I because I want to go back first. I was a member of the Democratic Party first before I decided to become a member. Well, I won't say a member, to support the Barbados Party. Let me put it that way. And simply because that when I look at what was being offered from the Barbados Party as opposed to what Barbadans were getting from the Democratic Party, I felt that the Barbados Party was the ultimate choice to manage the affairs of the country. I have not once yet been satisfied by the then Democratic Party administration as to if what they were doing was counterproductive. In other words, if Barbadans were getting value for money while they sat in office. I saw the poor, the dispossessed, the vulnerable, and persons who would have otherwise been in other words, if the government had catered properly and had structures of programs and policies in place to better facilitate these individuals, I believe that the Democratic Party would have been off to a good start. The problem is, however, is that the impression that I got based on the evidence that that was before me was that the Democratic Party's interest and focus was more on what they can benefit for themselves, that is the administration, rather than what the general public could have benefited by programs and policies being put in place. And it's for this reason that I decided that somebody had to get up and speak. Barbadans are not used to speaking out front. They will speak at their own corners, the rum shop, the bars, but to come out to speak to serious issues that are challenging them, they are not. They're more reserved rather than coming up to speak on things that matter. And the truth is that I find the management of the Democratic Party at the time offensive. And offensive to me in the sense that if you look at the management of the Motley-led administration and how the members of the public are being brought in to the fore as it relates to what it is they want to see the country, the areas they want to see the country progressing. I think that is the type of governance that I'm prepared to fight for, as opposed to being governed by individuals who believe that is either take it or leave it.
I have to disagree with you in a sense. You made a comparison about them doing things to benefit mostly themselves. However, I know for a fact that they implemented a lot of policies to help the country in terms of education. They built and refurbished a lot of schools. If it is that you want the official document that they would have had to see what they did throughout the last 10 years, they could send you it, but you don't want to go into every detail about it, right? What you said to me struck me as more of a personal thing where you had issues with like a one or two person out to the administration, as opposed to the entire governance of the entire DLP. Right? And then you made the point about the Motley-led administration. I could produce evidence and facts as to where the Motley-led administration would have left out Barbadians in critical decision-making policies. And the last one particularly will be where they tried to pass a law saying that poor people got to move out the house to be able to renovate it. That's one.
Was it poor people or was it Barbados in general?
Barbados in general, but I said poor people because poor people will mainly have the issue, right? Another one would have been White Oaks, and another one would have been the same IMF program where they didn't take much consultation from the public to do research, right? So it's a little bit outlandish to say that. Well, I understand where you're coming from. The statement will not be fair to either parties that you address.
Let me address a few things that you just said. I will start with the White Oak first, because I heard the $54 million brandishing all around this country, and the reason why the money-led administration would have spent that considerable amount of money on whitewater. I think that if we are honest with ourselves, right, we will recognize that the Democratic Party was in discussion with whitewater before the Barbados Party came to office, right? And this is fact, right? So because I don't want to get caught up with the, you know, and the narratives, because we must be honest with ourselves. Therefore, if we understand that a government is a continuum, and that the Democratic Party had engagements with whitewater, I think it is only reasonable that if there's a continuation, that the government continue in the vein in which the last administration would have left off. That's one. Now,
before you leave for our Patrick, can I ask you? This question is going to be controversial. It's going to be possibly sensitive. Or
Sure, man, develop.
Right. I just want to develop it.
Right.
Are you a BLP apologist?
No, I listen. And there's enough evidence out there to suggest that I do not apologize for the Barbados Party.
We just did that for the last 5 minutes.
No. Pay attention.
I am.
Pay attention. Because in the same vein that you would have said that,
I just asked a question.
Supporters of the Barbados Party chastised me when I came out against the comments came from the Minister of Small Business, the Honorable Sutherland.
Okay.
When the interview was at NASCO, right? And he spoke about leveling the playing field.
Yeah.
Right? And I questioned the minister as to his definition of a level playing field. Right? And there were supporters of the Barbados Party who came after me viciously because they don't believe that I should have gone on my Facebook page to question the minister in this manner. And I believe in democracy, and I believe that people must be honest at all times with themselves. If there's one thing that I will be known for, right?
Yes.
Up until the time I die, is to be honest and to be fair and to be frank in every single thing that I do. And that if the Prime Minister do something or has done something that warrants a comment from me, I'm prepared to call it as I see it.
So,
that is the man called Patrick King.
Well, you know, I am glad that this is a man called Patrick King, because the Patrick King that I know, as you said, is very straightforward, very upfront. You have been part and parcel swirled in controversy, right? So I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Patrick King is no saint,
Right.
right? But I have a problem, or not me per se, but there are people who would have a problem with you one day defending part and parcel every policy of the Democratic Labour Party, and then the other day you are defending the Barbados Labour Party, and you know you defend it with a almost pitbull-like viciousness, right? To the point that you have people who probably would want to say something to Patrick King, but they're afraid to be attacked verbally by Patrick King.
But I'm happy that you're going there.
I will go there.
I seriously, I'm happy that you're going there. Because if there's one thing that I do not, I'm not prepared to do, is settle for disrespect. The challenge is that when people come on my Facebook page, and rather than dealing with the issues that I raise on my page, choose to disrespect me, then sometimes I might find myself in the gutter, which is not a nice place to be. But the bottom line is that I would prefer persons who, in an attempt to respond to anything that I've said on my Facebook page by way of any post, my preference is let us deal with the issues and not personalities.
You sure that's the reasoning, or are you sure there's any truth to the rumor that you got a big job from this government as a consultant.
No, but I can answer that. I
You
can-
are right there.
No, but no, I can answer it. I was in my living room sitting at home, a year ago, right? Because the record must be set straight that Patrick King never took up his phone, landline or cell phone,
Yeah.
and either called the Prime Minister of this country or any of her ministers of this country.
But we don't have
Hold on. To ask them any favor as it relates to employment. While sitting at my home a morning, my telephone rang, and the person on the other end made an offer to me based on my qualifications. And when the offer was made, I told the individual, give me at least 2 days to think and ponder on it, and I'll return my call back to you. I did that in 2 days, and thereafter, the position was offered to me.
Okay.
No. So let me go slowly. So, because the position of a consultant to the government of Barbados was offered to me, does not in any way, shape, form, or fashion alter the thinking of Patrick King. Let me get that clear.
But it alters your pocket.
No. But if you're working, you're going to get paid. If you're working, you're going to get paid. You're going to get paid.
I agree.
Hey,
But
hey,
it depends on the amount you're getting paid will determine part and parcel part of the
But
thinking.
I'm not here to discuss what the salary.
I just try to be dangerous, Patrick.
But I would say that any employment offered to me by the government of Barbados will not alter the manner or way in which I perceive things, or which I will deal. Individuals in the house are voted up. You should and supporting the
Lost.
Sorry about that, guys.
We're trying to fix the audio issues.
Well, we
We back up. Just indicate if you can hear us.
Okay. We may have to use the Google volume, but we're not going to get any feedback. How is that?
Can you hear now?
Okay. The phone volume is restrained.
Someone saying that.
Somebody saying yes, they can hear.
Okay, go ahead, Patrick.
Go ahead, Patrick.
Right. So the question was asked as the
The breakdown between
the
yourself
breakdown
and
between
Dennis
myself and Dennis Law. And the truth is that, having been a part and parcel of the Democratic Party, I supported Dennis Law when he was nominated as candidate for Christchurch East.
Okay.
Canvass also for Dennis Law when he was the candidate for Christchurch East.
Yes.
Now, the problem I have with politicians, and this spread across the spectrum above the Democratic Party and the Barbados Party,
And the PDP.
is no, I can only speak to those who would have governed in over the last 50 years, odd years of our independence.
The PDP is in government.
You still you lost
So,
all
my
of it.
brother, let you speak, Joe.
So the challenge was, or is rather, that most politicians, when they are elected to office, what happens is that there's always a subtle change in their behavior. And the truth must be told that this now exists in this administration as well. There are individuals, there are ministers in this administration who I could have contacted while they were in opposition, who I cannot now contact now that they are part of the cabinet of Barbados.
Are you willing to call names?
No, I'm not prepared to call him because I'm not getting the name.
I asked you about Henson because you were on the clip going around saying that, you know.
No, I can deal with that. I can deal with that. But the point I want to make, right? The point I want to make is that myself and Dennis Law enjoyed a fairly good relationship up until the time I decide that I have to break things. Simply because
What was the struggle about the campus?
I can be getting there.
No, you're taking long to get there. That's why.
Because Dennis Law believed that he was a law unto oneself, right? And that you cannot seek to govern in a manner in which Dennis Law felt that he should have governed in. That's the bottom line. My presence at the office at the constituency office in
What was your
in
Hold on, Jeremy, and he developed point. Hold on.
I was the constituency assistant.
Okay.
Hold on.
Right? My presence there was not to give direction to the minister, but at the same time, I had a duty to the persons who supported the minister by way of vote. Right? So therefore, when the minister believed that he could offend those persons who I asked to support during the election, I believe I had a responsibility to go back to the persons and tell them up front, right, that the minister was behaving in a careless, reckless, and irresponsible manner, and that is one that I cannot condone, to the extent that I had to go to David Thompson, the then Prime Minister, to make complaints about Dennis Law's behavior. And it is clear for all and sundry to see that Dennis Law's interest in politics had nothing to do with the people of Christchurch East. The people of Christchurch East benefited from the presence and representation of Dennis Law only because of the jobs that were given to them. Obviously, he held a ministry that had embraced sanitation, water authority, the environment, sanitation, water authority, drainage,
The NCC.
So his ministry gave him the opportunity to provide jobs for the people in the constituency, and which he did, and by so doing, those individuals then in turn gave him the support because people believe that once you help me, I'll help you. But the obnoxious attitude of Dennis Law was becoming.
I could give you examples written on obnoxious attitudes from current government ministers. So, well, I don't have a problem with the issues that you have. Right, well, I don't have a problem with the issues that you have with Dennis Law. My thing is sometimes you gotta look left and look right sometimes before you speak to issues, right? And I think that we passed Dennis Law now, right?
Have we? Have we heard rumors he's coming back into politics? Have we passed it?
But see, that's why I deliberately walk with this.
All right, but
Because
I
if you're telling me we passed, then it's law. We need to have a conversation on this.
All right, so but what do you think? I have a question from
It's honest-
I have a question from a viewer here asking you, how do you feel about the VAT write-offs that this administration did while they came into power?
Mhm. But to be fair to the administration, right? We had the VAT write-offs. Two things happened, and I'm not going to be supportive of the government. But the bottom line is, right, that if the culprits who collected the VAT and had refused to pay it in did not pay it in, and as a consequence they had the funds, because you gotta understand the climate in which the country found itself over the last 10 years, right? And that if the government would have written off VAT receipts, right, for, you call it the merchant class. That's the question you're asking, right?
Yeah,
Good.
basically.
How it is that it is so convenient for the Democratic Labour Party supporters to focus their attention on the VAT receipts written off by this administration, when we had from 2010, I didn't want the Auditor General report. When we had from 2010, the Barbados Turf Club,
$19 million.
not only $19 million, they hadn't paid a single cent in taxes from 2010 up until it was highlighted by the Auditor General in 2017 report.
Patrick, before you go any further, right? I want to say something with reference to this nice.
Jeremy, don't stop the conversation.
No, I'm
Let
not
me
stopping the
finish.
conversation.
Don't get somewhere else. Yeah.
He's speaking about the Auditor General report, and I want to say this, right? Because I think we as a people have to face a reality. Now, you will come to this program today and you will bring this Auditor General report. Countless other politicians have gone on political platforms all across Barbados and brandish the Auditor General report from 2015, 16, 17, 18, 2008, 2019. The general trend is that every year people use this Auditor General report as their more or less, this is my Bible. This is why you should vote out a government. You highlight a lot of infelicities and a lot of wrongs. I call them economic and financial wrongs which were committed by administrations. And you know what happens after that? The conversation goes mute. Absolutely nothing happens. This Auditor General report that you are trying to show us here and trying to show Barbados, this is as worthless, this is as valuable as toilet paper to most people. Right? So when you show us things in this report, it really makes no difference. And hold on, I know that the leader of the opposition would be doing his investigations through the Public Accounts Committee. I have seen the Public Accounts Committee being convened by 4 other persons, right? And that Public Accounts Committee has to date achieved nothing, right?
But we can't make we can't make the flawed statement.
No, it's not a flawed
Hold on,
statement.
Jim. How much?
Can you give me the name of?
Well,
I want to be fair. Can you give me the name of one person whom has been accused of taking any funds from the government of Barbados?
Yeah, you sure that just get locked
right?
up.
Hold on, we ain't give you money neither. Right? Can you give me the name of one person? Let me speak. Whom has been accused of taking money from the government of Barbados? Hold on, Kimar.
We going off a topic. When you talk about the Auditor General report, you have to look at 2 things. The Auditor General report is basically a report on the financials of government.
Yeah.
The Auditor General
management and mismanagement.
The Auditor General himself, we will always have management and mismanagement. I think we have to look at is corruption, and that is what we're failing to look at. The second thing of the Auditor General is that he has no power.
Correct.
Because he needs the power now to investigate, and that is where I think the government is leaning at, giving him power.
How long does it?
Depend on how long. Hold on.
I have been
we just need to get him.
hearing about the Auditor General.
But I don't think it's worthless.
Hold on. I have been hearing about the Auditor General of Barbados getting power since the Democratic Labour Party was in power, and even before that, when the previous Barbados Labour Party was in power. So to come and brandish that as this big statement, we can do this. That means nothing. But we have to realize that the monies that are being spoken about in this report are tax taxpayers' money. They come out to your salary, out of your consultancy. They come out to your salary.
Oh,
and
salary? But speak for yourself.
Alright, wait, let's all right. Let's
No,
let's get
no. I believe that I can't walk away from this topic and not say something that is extremely important.
John, then we will get to that, please. See. Yeah.
The money-led administration is in the process of drafting legislation that will seek to give teeth to the Auditor General.
Yeah.
When you see the installation of the new Director of Public Prosecution, there are a number of things that will happen, which I will not disclose at this particular point in time because
You say the installation of the new Director of Public Prosecutions?
not Director, it's the Chief Justice, sorry.
Okay. You have any idea who it will be?
Yeah, but I'm not prepared to say it here now.
Go ahead.
Right? But the point I want to make, right, is that the money-led administration is going in the direction to fix a number of things that were left undone, not only by the Democratic-led party last administration, but the Arthur-led administration as well.
You mean like the integrity legislation
Right.
that was coming within 100 days?
No, but is it drafting?
What, that was drafted,
No, simply because that the Democratic Party draft legislation and leave a lot of loopholes out in the integrity legislation.
Okay, but
And then wanted the money-led administration to now bring this legislation as it was drafted. You understand? With the loopholes that was left out. And Marty said no.
But we didn't have a copy of this before election. A copy of this integrity legislation was
no. There
was debate and everything.
Debate and there was
But there was no copy. But when you look at the loopholes that was drafted in the legislation, the money-led administration decided that we can't proceed with this. We got to dismantle this. You understand me? Make some adjustments to the legislation and then bring it as a comprehensive.
I have a question for you, Patrick. Do you think that there is true political will on both the side of the Democratic Labour Party and the Barbados Labour Party to actually bring proper integrity legislation?
Of course.
Pass it
Of course.
and have it where when the Governor General ascended by the Governor General?
Yeah, but no, of course.
So you think there's political will there?
Of course.
And the next question I have for you, right? Do you think, because you are here this evening and you comment on all sorts of things on your page, so we can ask you some questions.
Right.
We again he meet some matter for you.
Right, yeah, no problem.
Right?
No problem.
Do you think that if this legislation goes through, that we could possibly see a member of the Democratic Labour Party or the Barbados Labour Party being locked up, or I'm not even going as far as locked up, being hauled before the courts of Barbados?
Or lock up too?
Well, lock up means that the judge got found guilty. But being hauled before the courts of Barbados for as Barbados was thief in the government money.
Taxpayers' money.
Jeremy, as a person who would have pursued a law degree, right?
Oh, and before you answer that question, someone also asked a question earlier. What are you qualified in? So you can answer both questions together.
I qualify in marketing. That's my area of specialty. So I don't
have a
know.
bachelor's in marketing?
No, I don't have a bachelor's in marketing.
What is your highest degree in marketing? Because you're the marketing officer at the Bull.
No. My role and responsibility as a consultant is basically to fix the wrongs that was done where I am stationed. That's as much as I would say.
So you're a consultant in marketing.
Right.
But the matter say, moving on.
Okay, but I won't get back. I
Jump along, say.
don't want to lose the point that I want to make
with
this whole issue with the Auditor General report, right? And the whole issue with government being serious about locking up people.
Yeah.
The government, in its best intentions, as it seeks to bring perpetrators to justice, cannot do so in the absence of evidence. That's one, right? You would have heard the Attorney General of this country saying on more than one occasion that there was collaborative efforts both by persons in the private sector and ministers of the crown who engage in practices to siphon off taxpayers' money.
Former ministers.
former ministers.
Right, be careful when
No, hold on. Because we won't deal with corruption.
All right, gentlemen.
Right? Good. To siphon off taxpayers' money. In law, there's something called a complainant and a complaint. So if you don't have a complaint, you can't have a complainant that can lead you to the possible prosecution. That's the bottom line. So, in all of what's happening here in the Auditor report and the corruption that took place, right? If the persons who bribe or cause the bribe or create the circumstances for the bribe to take place, right? Because there's a doctrine in law called joint enterprise and common design, right? That holds parties to an arrangement accountable as the person who also function. I won't finish, right? So, when the auditor decides that there was corruption and mismanagement of taxpayers' funds and identify the areas for the occurrence and the ministries for which it happened under, at the end of the day, right? The persons who, let me draw an example, because I spoke this in my video. If I am a contractor, and I am asked by the minister to bid on a contract coming up, and I put in a contract, right? Let me say for $20 million. But the minister decides, well, Patrick, what's going to happen is that I need $1 million Barbados out of this deal. Because we all know these things happen in this country.
This is hypothetical.
Hey, hold on. Oh, yeah,
Hypothetical.
yes.
Hypothetical.
So what happens is that when the contractor is told that this
What
is the
might
preference of the minister to have $1 million, he goes back to the drawing board and he make the necessary adjustments to the contract to accommodate the minister. Now, how the money was siphoned off in this country, that we to hold on.
This is hypothetical.
Hold on, right? Is that when a contractor decides that he would hire 100 staff members, this is a building is under construction, right? The construction site can have 50 employees as opposed to 100 employees, and that salaries can be drawn or a case can be made for salaries for an additional 50 employees, what we call inverted commas mock employees that don't exist.
You seem to know this quite well.
Of course.
Were you a contractor?
I was never one. But because of the information presented to me and because of the facts that I had, when I challenged the law reform administration, none of them.
I got 2 points.
None of them.
Let's
A
hear
lot of you are saying the country experienced on it went after big time, right? We had $500 million in cost overruns alone over the life of that administration, right? That is $500 million in taxpayers' money that we need right now.
It's actually $750 million.
Right. I understand it's $750 million in cost overruns alone, right? What can we come up? Right now, under this administration, we still experiencing no bid contracts, right? And how do you know that the same process that you just described did not occur with the contract lease for the airport to be the concessionaire, or to
What contract you know about that is no bid?
Just hold on. And the issues with the Harrison's cave, where there was some tangles with a company called Chaka Tours, right? How do you know that the same process you just described did not occur under these circumstances?
But I have you asked me a question. But are you aware that a cabinet decision was made to give $5.5 million to a contractor, I ain't gonna call his name, to a contractor under the Democratic Party, when the rules of the cabinet clearly state, I think in section 22 or 27, that once the bid is over $100,000, that has to go to tender. And the contractor was given the contract for $5.5 million. I spoke that in my video.
I want.
Wait a minute, no. So when I hear about this contractual arrangement,
Deflect my question
I
and then
want-
so he went on to the Dems.
No,
Them get voted out already.
No,
We're talking about the bees.
No, but
and
you
he's
can't correct a wrong with a wrong.
But you're struggling to get
because
you know that
because
this
the
government is
hold on.
doing wrong and you cannot
Because
look the camera in its face, look Barbadians
but
in
you
the
got
face
listen.
and tell them the truth about the administration that
But
gave
listen,
you a
I-
consultant job.
But I see you as presumptuous. And I can see the reason why you're presumptuous. The former administration picked up $22 billion in taxes. They fixed a road.
How you know that? Because you wrote that CNM get.
No.
Hold on, you can't say I didn't fix the road because I
Where's the
drive.
fix? Tell me where the fix.
I drive from where I live and I
Huh?
pass the stadium road on mornings and that road was fixed.
And the last administration?
Under the last administration.
Hold on,
Wrong
hold on.
election, boss.
No, long before election.
Listen,
Nah,
man,
boss.
no,
I
no,
live
no.
out there. Wrong
No,
election, David.
no,
sir.
listen.
Wrong election,
Hold on.
boss.
Roads. I know for a fact.
No roads were fixed. No garbage trucks were bought.
That's
No buses were bought.
About Jeremy. You got them? Huh?
No buses was bought in this country. You understand? We had the South Coast Suez mess. How do you explain?
Yeah, we do.
How do you
Santos
explain the
But that was
taxpayers?
built on the last
How do you
administration.
explain
That's
the
allowed.
taxpayers, right? Having picked up $22 billion. $22 billion. A government that took office and found 32 weeks in foreign exchange cover. And up to the time when they demit office, they only had, I think it was less than six or 7 days foreign import cover. How do you explain these things?
I can explain it to you, right? First
tell
things
me.
first, I know for a fact that there were many procurement contracts under the Dems to do with roads because I personally went to the meeting, right? And there were many contracts laid out for persons to come and put their names in to get contracts.
Who underneath was,
This
underneath
was
for
under
me?
the IADB.
For which one? This present government or
under the
past?
last administration. I've been to the
Yeah, but with them contracts were never given to nobody but friends.
Just wait. I
It's
know
not be
for a
fair,
fact-
Kimon.
So contracts
Right.
now get give to people who are not friends.
Two.
But it been tendered properly.
The issues with the foreign reserves is that many of or I would say a lot of the foreign reserves that we
Thank you,
had
Damani.
were borrowed, right? Under the one after administration, it was borrowed money. As soon as we started to pay back those loans, $30 million every January for the prison that this current Prime Minister.
We still talking about that there for
But see,
years.
you don't want to talk about it. That
Come
this
on.
current Prime Minister.
I would have hardly borrowed money from ADB.
So
A lot of money
all of
ADB
the-
was sitting
all
down.
of-
That wouldn't
a lot
take.
of the reserves that we borrow had to be paid.
Okay,
out
Kimar, let me go back.
interest, Right.
You said that the last government put out tenders as it relates to the ADB money. Did the Democratic Labour Party take the ADB money?
No.
Thank you. 'Cause you know why? I was on the ADB consult committee. They did not take a lot of money that the government said that they would have gone for that. They come and bring people up for the last. They did not take it. They did not take it.
IADB demands that the government of the day show how the spending of the money that the bar go. They send the IMF, you know. The IMF.
So,
hold on.
but before you go any further, right, Patrick? I want you to be fair here. I want you to be absolutely fair.
Yeah, tell me.
30 people are elected every 5 years to be members of parliament.
Right.
Those 30 people set policy. They do not necessarily run government departments. They don't determine how monies are spent.
Oh please.
Hold on, no, hold on. You have
Influence,
hold on,
boss.
You have a minister.
He's speaking in
Hold
a
on.
formal
He's being a farmer,
Hold
son.
on, hold on. You
Jeremy,
have a
don't be
minister.
naive.
You got a permanent secretary. You got a deputy permanent secretary.
And a financial
You
controller.
got a financial controller.
Oh, well.
You got an administrative officer.
All right, we don't go down the line. Where's your point?
There are statutory agencies which are headed by boards. You got directors, CEOs. So they have the works.
But yeah,
right?
the Auditor General reports
Right?
stink.
Hold on.
You being naive, Jeremy.
I'm not being naive. I am saying to you, right? Because
All board members are creatures of the minister, boss.
Oh,
All board members are creatures of the minister.
and that, whilst that may be true, we have to recognize that. Look, I am not a person.
It's not so much the
Right?
internal thing, you know. It's the
Hold on,
statutory
hold on,
organization.
hold on. I am not a person who will sit down and just because someone says that somebody was corrupt, that I will buy into it and say, oh yeah, they was corrupt. I believe that. Hold on, we have to bring the proof, right? No, there are instances where we can see corruption occurred, right? But I want to be fair to the Democratic Labour Party this evening, and I want to say to you that they did not do absolutely nothing for 10 years. I want to say to you that the government was still being run. Yes, we did not have the purchasing of mass amounts of garbage trucks and buses, right? But you know, talking about buses, right? We have a lot of buses now, but we have something even better than buses. You see that CAP program? That is a proper program. Because of that program, persons all over Barbados now can get transportation. You get me? Because you have brought in the private sector, and the government really and truly is supposed to deal with policy.
Thank Michael Lashley for it.
I'm thanking Michael Lashley. The credit will go to both Michael Lashley and William Duguid
For what?
and Peter Phillips.
For what?
For the top program. He started it, they continued it. It is true. It is fact. It is known. It is there. Right?
Listen,
So, Patrick, you cannot sit down here and wholesale part and parcel and accuse everybody in the team. I can't agree with that.
But he didn't
I
accuse everybody.
didn't.
He never did.
But you get that, bro?
You spewing Jermaine?
I want to speak that.
You're accusing the last government of being thieves, and that's not right.
I want to speak
What you
that.
mean accuse it?
I want to speak. I want to speak.
Right,
I want to speak the chapter 3 of the Auditor report, right? Because we want split hairs in this country, right? And I believe that the truth must be told and must be told at all times, right? Under the Sanitation Service Authority, right?
Yeah.
At 36, page 30, chapter 3, 36, right?
Yeah.
4 attorneys in this country,
Yeah.
right, was paid $3.937 million to provide legal services. Let me tell you something. You got attorneys in this country that is struggling to get 3 clients in a year, right? But somebody can find the time, you know, to get $3.937 million in legal fees.
The 4 attorneys.
The 4 attorneys in this country.
Yeah, we
Hold on. That can't even make a clear case for bail for a man who snatch a handbag down bridge down. And this is the kind of nonsense that you want support, you know.
But Patrick,
No, because we got
you just studied law, right?
yes.
And you know what's like all the scale fees, right? And you cannot tell a man how to charge for his work. Because if you ever come down, you may become a lawyer, and you may be embroiled in such controversy.
But hold on.
And you may be trying to fight
But you know,
Why
right?
that is true? Why that is true?
So you're not
The
there.
bar sets the amount that you can charge too. No?
Yes, I
Remember
know,
that?
I know.
No,
A minimum.
maximum.
But
Why we were saying Joseph German might be true?
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you become a
Hold
lawyer.
on. You can't go to unconscionable minister or a board who's supposed to give direction to this behavior can allow this kind of thing to happen in this country at a time when people can get rice, salt, and sugar by in Barbados. You know?
Is it the first thing that happened?
But he talking about this, right?
Right?
But he don't want to
Is it
address.
first thing that
Hold
happened?
on.
Address $27 million in consultant fees under this government
Hold
alone.
on.
Address $27 million in consultant fees. You will focus on
We can get there,
3.7
we
million.
can
But still, it said that the
27
Democrats spend more than the Barbados party.
No, a consultant.
Doubling, yes.
Address the
Would they have more
$27 million.
consultants than anybody?
Listen,
It doesn't have more,
listen.
yes, it doesn't have more consultants than anybody.
He's bringing more information.
Address
But
$27 million in
The memo the
consultant.
administration said that what they pay consultants cannot add up to
I
what
also
the
want to know how he
Democrats
can feel a couple years later when he look back and see his
Listen.
beloved government right now doing the same things that in this report.
The Barbados Water Authority paid $2.75 million
Welcome, Jeremy.
in
Welcome.
consultancy fees, you know. $2.75 million in consultancy service. Hold on. You had a man who chaired 3 meetings at Barbados Water Authority, 3,
Yeah.
and get $1.5 million. I got come on, you know.
I watch your meeting.
I get paid.
Kimar, you watch your meeting?
Nah, boy.
$1.5 million in 3 meetings?
Let me make my money honest.
I chaired 3 meetings.
What's all meetings these were?
Huh?
But
Hold on. Listen, this thing is so ridiculous, right?
This was on your former minister?
This was on the aspect.
Oh, okay.
This was on the David aspect. Now listen. The lands that now occupy the headquarters for the Barbados Water Authority
in point.
and the Pine was Crown lands. All the Ministry of Housing had to do,
Somebody asked you to define what we're done.
and I can give it up. All the Ministry of Housing had to do was to vest the land in the hands of the Barbados Water Authority that the project could get started. We got in-house lawyers, you know. Both the Barbados Water Authority
And the Attorney General.
and the National Housing.
Yeah.
But somebody find it possible
Yeah.
to get a lawyer outside
Sometimes you want external opinion.
and pay $1.5 million.
You cannot tell them how much charge for his fees.
1.5 million to change 3 minutes. That Crown lands, land belonging to the Crown, that the vested from one ministry to the next does not require.
What were the value of the lands, Patrick?
You know, Crown lands is doing this value. I don't go look back at documents. I don't recall the exact
$27 million
document.
in consultant fees, which includes yours. Again, I ask you.
I can address the bill. Let me come into that. Give me a chance. Because you pay two contractors $2.75 million at Barbados Water Authority. And if monthly pay $27 million for, I ain't sure how much consultants.
What about the APA?
Hold on,
That is the
you
government
coming to
lawyers.
Barbados. Hold on. For sure, if the government of Barbados paid $27 million for a collective group of consultants, it is much cheaper than to get two individuals. 2.75 here.
But too many white oats get 54 million.
Here.
Too many in white oats
But
get 54
it was a
million.
continuation of White Oak was a I'm gonna address that now because I want to address. White Oak was a continuation of what you call
Me here. I want to hear this.
hold on. What you call negotiation process by the Democratic Labour Party.
But they
Hold on,
but
hold
they
on.
agree the fee that was
Hold-
paid.
yes, hold on,
and
hold on,
it
let me
was a
speak.
big scandal all over the world.
No, because that what the Democratic Labour Party refused to tell people in this country that is factual was that $54 million paid to White Oak was agreed to by the Democratic Labour Party.
You got any evidence?
Come
on, man. I can't.
Man, man,
Do you have
listen,
evidence to substantiate that?
listen to me. If there is one thing that I will not do under no circumstances,
Is what?
is speak to any issue for which I does not have any evidence at all. I don't do it, never come. My practice does not allow me to do it. So I will never do it.
Can you share the evidence on the debrief tonight?
I ain't got it here. If I knew that this is a guy here would have walked with it. And I would have walked with receipts for the lawyer that get the $1.5 million.
How you get the receipts? That is confidential government information.
Man, you don't want to know how to get things.
Yeah, man, Maggie thing, you business.
I get things.
Man, talk what he got to talk.
I get things.
You
No, I know, I
can't.
get things.
Then if he no tell you, then you caught up too.
Listen,
You don't want to know how to get things.
okay, so we have a person here that is commenting a lot.
The
You, Patrick.
DLP got boy, a heavy boy.
Lisa Moore. Lisa Moore, good night. Patrick, Lisa.
I know who Lisa Moore. Go ahead.
She's a DLP heavy hitter.
I know who Lisa Moore.
I asked him about
I want to hear what
Hickson.
she got to say. What Lisa Moore got to say?
She's a DLP heavy
Asked him
hitter.
about Edmund Hickson, the same question I asked you
Uh-huh,
before,
what?
and you duck and dodge my question.
Tell me about Edmund. What, Edmund?
But hold on. The Patrick said on this show, we have to understand, he's not, whether or not he's within the D party or the B party, he will speak to the facts.
No, but
So, and it
No,
doesn't
you
matter.
can't be facts, man,
No.
Patrick.
But I want to deal with Edmund issue because I heard this raised earlier tonight, and let me deal with it. Let me
Jeremy,
say,
what you saw?
I just started to say once and for all, right?
Let me hear you. Let me hear you, Patrick.
Edmund Hickson and I did not, in any way, shape, form, or fashion, have any beef as members of the public may want to believe, or some people suggest to people that there's a beef between myself and Edmund. There's absolutely none.
Okay.
Good? Let me set you record straight.
Very good to hear.
Good. Edmund Hickson, I spoke to Edmund Hickson about an ongoing issue that relates to.
You sure you want
Hold on,
to
I can talk about it. Hold on. That dealt with non-nationals that were deported by the immigration department. Okay? When I spoke to Edmund Hickson, and brought the Edmund Hickson's attention the ills and the wrong that was taking place, and that he had a duty as the minister not to allow the immigration officers who had an agenda to set his agenda for him.
But you gotta tell him.
Hold on.
Tell him I was sucking private
Hold
parts and all
on.
that there.
Because
Alright,
hold
Kimar,
on. No,
Don't
I get there.
Don't go there.
Hold on.
Let's not go
Ladies,
there.
don't.
No, let me get
Easy
there.
guess.
Right? So when Edmund Hickson, when I spoke to Edmund Hickson, right, and I told him what was happening, Edmund Hickson said that was the report I gave him. The report I gave him was not the report that he received from those persons in the Ministry of in the Department of the Immigration, right? The voice note, right? Because I say this every sentence. You know, I don't know how people miss the things I be saying. The voice note that I sent to Edmund Hickson was a private voice note, never ever meant to be public. It was sent to a phone via one of the persons who, I sent it to, I ain't gonna name the individuals. I sent it to two individuals, and one of the individuals sent it to a person who was disgruntled and who felt that they should have gotten a job that was given to somebody else in this administration, and believe that it was their duty to send the voice note out to other people, and that's how it went viral. But it was a private voice note. So in other words, it's like I share something privately with you, right? And having shared it with you privately, you ought to pass it on to somebody and it ends up in the public domain. And I have you told me that I have no apology. I tell you, my mention, so I ain't got no apology for it. So don't even carry me there, I got no apology for it. I do not make unnecessary apologies. Because when I say things, I say them understanding the consequences.
So we are for all the kick you out of Parliament.
Good. As the whole kick me out of Parliament, listen to this carefully. What was said was that because of the fury, which I don't understand the reason why they call it a fury too, between Edmund Hickson and myself, that they felt that Edmund Hickson being the minister and I being the guest, Parliament is where Edmund Hickson go to set policy. You understand? And that Parliament had a right to give away to the minister over my presence. There wasn't a difference between me and Edmund Hickson. So hold on. So somebody took a high-handed decision and did that, right? When I decided, I made a call to the Prime Minister's personal assistant, indicated what transpired, and I was told that the matter was fixed.
Patrick, can you?
Hold on, let me finish. I don't want to get cross. Because you got people that won't understand this here.
I'm
happy that I got a benefit of explaining this, right? I got up a morning. No, I got up a morning and I received a call asking me to come to Parliament to discuss an issue. When I went to Parliament, the first person I saw was Trevor Prescott. But hold on, you don't come in. Because I'm not going to allow people, right? I'm not going to allow a man to come and say why they get for them. And then I don't speak there, and then I hear that I avoid the answer. I avoid answering the question. Because I know Barbadians well. So give me the opportunity.
No, right? But we don't want to get tonight.
No. So when I spoke with Trevor, while I was speaking with Trevor in the corridor, the Prime Minister came down through the corridor and indicated to me that she's going into a meeting and that as soon as her meeting is finished, she will send her personal assistant to call me. I leave and I went upstairs, listened to the debate. Debate finished in 15 minutes, the break for lunch. I went down the lunch room. 2 security guards came to me and they told me what was the position. Right? Hold on. The problem was that the matter was not properly fixed or sorted out in the first instance. That created the second problem. That's all that happened.
Okay.
That's all. And then that's happened.
All right, well, let us move
We
on.
gonna call here, Patrick.
We have a call, Patrick.
Yes, so good night, Shamor.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Kimar, Mr. Stewart?
I am fine.
Hey.
I want to say a blessed love to everyone there tonight.
Blessings to you as well, Shimon.
All right, listen, Kimar, and as well as the other two gentlemen at the end, you guys know me, I've been there before, and Kimar Stewart in particular is aware of my state, the state of my mind pertaining to this country. And in speaking about the way forward, we need money in order to facilitate this way forward. I am constantly speaking about the state jewels in our country that have been compromised, either sold or entered into an agreement with private entities for periods of time. And this money we need for our country. I want to be very clear that I have an understanding, and I'm sure that everyone else who is probably listening to us has an understanding as to, like Mr. King, for example, he has his own business. I have my own business. Many people listening on this program have their own business. I want to speak about the business of the state. The state needs money to do business, and from my understanding, after I took up this whole political research, I've seen that both administrations, one more than the other, but I wouldn't get into that part. But the point is, both administrations are complicit in the compromising of many of our state jewels that we need the revenue from to sustain this country. The Barbados National Bank was sold by manipulation. Okay, let's not jive around here. We have the Barbados, the Light and Power Company gone, ICBL gone, ports leased out. I mean, a whole number of things. Okay, while we here bickering about individual, what? I see this man do this, or I see that man do that. This political party doing this political party and doing that. We as individuals, we're not supposed to be getting involved in that kind of political talk, because we hired people, put them in office to do a job for us. And it seems as though that every 5 years, once the parties are changed, one out of the two parties are doing something that compromises the country. And when it compromises the country, the state, it then hits the private people's pockets, because you have to go into your pockets to pull out more taxes. The writing off of this VAT money is ridiculous, in my opinion. Not in my opinion, I'm actually calling for that to be reversed, because that is not their money to write off. Okay? That is the state's money. That is our money. All right? That is taxpayers' money. So you can't be writing off things and then coming into our pocket and taxing us more to make up those falls. This is not supposed to be it. So, Mr. King, with respect to what I just said, what are we going to do about the sectors in Barbados that generate important money that is needed for our country moving forward? For example, the telecom communications, we have never owned the wire lines. We need to own the wire lines. Those are billions of dollars. We need to reestablish a national bank. That is billions of dollars. We need to reestablish a state-owned insurance company that will be insuring insurance companies as well as the businesses in this country to generate money. We need to take back over the port. We don't need to lease out the port. We need to hire efficient people to run the port, not lease it to them to make money that we need. What are we going to do about that?
All right, Patrick, you want to answer?
All right, thank you for your call. There just was a call by, what's his name? Shamor, we just want to thank you. Actually, first caller, so we just want to, if you want to call in, you have to call a number directly. Not my number.
846-9912, call on WhatsApp.
Yeah, 846.
991. Let me put your number.
Put the number there, so we can, if you want to call. So, I'm always intrigued by the fact that people, are always trying to narrate the show. We always encourage conversations. We've known Patrick for years. One of the reasons I let the conversation flow the way it did, because for years we've seen Patrick. We've only heard Patrick on numerous issues when he has to speak. But I was always interested to see what is passionate about what he speaks, the way he speaks. When he speaks, the way he speaks. So that is allowing for the guest to actually be who we want before we delve into the meat of the matter, which is to discussing the way forward. So don't in any way think that we would not get there. We will speak about it, but it is always fair to see what persons have to say. And like any talk show, everybody has an opinion. Everybody think they want to narrate what we should do, how we should do it. We welcome all the feedback, but at the same time, we know what we are doing. We know what we're trying to get. We know what we are trying to accomplish. So bear with us as we go forward. That was another caller.
Yeah, we got another caller.
So we have another caller before we go on there. We ask that you would also keep it clean, keep it positive. I see some of you guys getting heated on the conversation.
Are here attacking people.
Yeah. So
Hello, good night.
who's this?
Good night. Good night, gentlemen.
Hi, good night. This is.
King.
You got your phone?
Yes, please. My question is to Patrick. You were asked a couple questions earlier, and in my opinion, you didn't answer them.
We hope to see you next
One
week.
question was, what is your opinion on the write-off of the VAT for the period 2000 to 2009 by this current government? What is your opinion on that? When you were asked that question, you deflected to what the Democratic Labour Party did in their time in office. And I'm quite tired of hearing about them because we voted them out and we gave the Barbados Labour Party all the seats. So could we stop focusing on what they
No, we can't. We simply can't stop. No, we cannot.
Sorry,
cannot.
Jeremy. We're just taking some calls. There's some callers that are calling in. Please forgive us. We're just taking some calls as well. So that's what is. Oh, you're saying what's going on, Jeremy? Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
He living. Hopefully for now. Yeah, Patrick, go ahead.
What?
I get you.
1 minute, Aki. Well, Patrick, answer your question. Go ahead.
Why would you believe that the government should not focus, this administration should not focus on the
Jeremy, stop calling
happening
out people.
in the last administration? You must explain for me, right? Because you hold on. Hold on. The last administration had not provided any answers to the people of this country when $19 million was written off for the turf club. So why you believe that you are in a position to demand an answer from this administration when you have not provided any? Yes, tell me why you write it off. Why the Democratic Party wrote off $19 million for turf club? You did not provide. No answers was provided.
Right, let them answer.
Go ahead, caller.
Let call answer.
Thank you.
I can cover it.
No.
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking for the focus to not be on the last government is because we the voters, we examined what they did and we voted them all out of office for that. Now there are burning issues that are affecting
But
the
they're coming
country
back.
and it's moving forward. So we need, in my opinion, we need to examine what is being done now. And one of the first things that was done that I have a serious problem with was when this government wrote off taxes that were collected from the period 2000 to 2009, when the economy was batting strong. Taxes that were collected by merchants, money that belonged to the government. And they did not pay this money. One could only assume that the extra house that they own and the yacht and the couple cars were bought with this same taxpayers' money.
This is the last administration, caller? You're talking about the last administration?
This current administration, and one of the first acts they did was to write off VAT for the period 2001 to 2009, when the economy was batting strong. That is money that merchants collected from us, the people, and refused to pay to the government. I am saying that is wrong. To write off that money is wrong.
Okay, but you ready for me to answer?
$500 million in VAT and then turn around and go to the IMF and borrow $500 million.
Hold on, because you won't be one-sided in this argument, right? And I can't. I think you're being intellectually dishonest, right? Because that you cannot, under no circumstances, telling me that you don't want to focus on the happenings of the Democratic Party when they wrote off $19 million for the turf club, did not give an answer for so doing, but want to believe that you can push the Barbados Labour Party in a corner and demand answers for VAT that was collected from 2000 to 2009. You're being intellectually dishonest because the turf club collected taxes that was paid to them by taxpayers in this country as well. There were taxes that was paid to them by the taxpayer, and you did not seek an answer for it. So don't come willy-nilly telling me but they're gone already and you don't want to hear that. In law, there's something called antecedents. Antecedents is something that a magistrate or sitting presiding officer, so-called a judge, rely on if an accused person is before them for a matter that involve a crime that they would have committed.
Patrick, before you forward, I find your argument to be absolutely poor, and I'll tell you the reason why. If you are going to sit down here and say to us that because this body do it, then this body going to do it, then that is a flaw.
That is not what I'm saying. I am saying that there was no demand by this same caller for answers to the $19 million.
Was there a demand by you?
You understand? Of course, in my videos. If you were watching and following my videos, I spoke about it. And Democratic Party never give an answer for the $19 million that rolled off for the Turf Club. So you cannot now come to push the Barbados Party in a corner and demand answers when you have not provided any for yourself.
Right.
I think this being disingenuous.
Hold on, someone just said here that this first of all, Mr. King, the arrangement to write off the Barbados Turf Club debt was agreed to by the Right Honorable Owen Arthur PM and representative for St. Peter. This is a comment that is here.
No. Bring, I want the evidence. I want the evidence. I want talk. That's not true.
Election.
That's not true.
Right? And David Thompson, the David Thompson administration
No.
followed through with what was agreed. Defend that.
No, it is not true. It is not true. It is not true. It was a decision made. It was a decision made by Thompson, David Thompson, former Prime Minister.
Do you have proof?
Of course. I had nothing to do with the Barbados Party. And the point I'm making here tonight, right, is that if there were no demands for and any queries as to why it was written off, why the Turf Club having collected taxpayers' money, and that nobody demand from the then administration why they took such a decision, you cannot now come and make those same demands on the Barbados Party where you sit down and keep quiet and choose not to want to find out, but all of a sudden now, because it's convenient and expedient, people won't find out now.
Maybe if you had
and I got serious problem with it.
Maybe if you had the integrity legislation that this government promised me last 2 years.
So I am not prepared. I am not prepared to support that line of argument at all, right? Because there's one thing that we must get straight in this country, right? We are the minister who presides over Sanitation Service Authority, who was a caterpillar owned by the state in this country. Hold on. Of course, listen.
Because you could be
if I knew, listen, if they don't get me sued, they can't get me sued. So you
Barbados, he said it, they can't sue him.
No,
I don't tell you my argument, Jermaine. You been slide out.
The point I want to make, right? We had a caterpillar sitting there loose, owned by the Crown. That all it wanted, I interviewed the man, all it wanted was bearings to get it functionable. It cost to fix the tractor was less than $100,000. I got the documentation home. I spoke with this on my video. And would you imagine that the minister found it fit to rent a caterpillar for $23,000 a month?
But you can remember.
A week.
But you can remember that had a saying going around, something called the golden shower, where a minister of the then or after administration built a shower for absurd amounts of money.
So many.
To talk about that and not
all right, hold on, guys. All right. You know what I find? We are going to be going back and forth trading blows about who thief or who ain't thief. Right? This is what. Hold on.
Correct.
We came here this evening
Colin
to discuss.
Colin said that we didn't address his
We
question.
can't hold on. We can't
All
hear
right,
this evening.
let me moderate. You say back. Because you say back. You use the main reason you be backwards.
What?
So, as it relates to Patrick, in terms of we change the narrative a little bit.
Let's go
as it relates to the performance and how we see this administration and how we see the country. Now, Barbados in a sense would have felt really stifled by the last administration of how they ran the country, how they ran the finances. Now things are coming to light with the mismanagement of funds. How do you see this administration? What do you see as the way future? Are you pleased with this administration? Is there things that you would have changed? What is Patrick King's thoughts?
I am comfortable, and I'm in a place of comfort. as it relates to the handling of Barbados' economy. And let me explain why. Right? The government of Barbados, right, took up a mandate given to them on the 24th of May 2018.
Yes.
And circumstances in this country, right, where the country was adrift, so to speak. Myriad of issues confronted this country. Sewage, the whole issue with water. That's why I cannot understand why Mr. Word would phone himself in St. John to present a case to the residents of St. John over an issue with water outages. When he sat in the Senate for the better part of 10 years and refused to make any comment at all on the behalf of people in St. John, right? But I'm happy to report that this administration is focused in many ways. And let me make the point, right? Because I will not say idly by, and allow people who have political agendas to herd roughshops over this administration, over things that they refuse to correct and fix, and believe that they can make a mockery.
You want to ask the question for
Right.
about the same thing?
What's that? What was that?
He was speaking about the assets, the selling off the state assets by both governments, because this is all part of the way forward. So, your opinion.
No, listen.
Like, remember the Harson's cave?
But listen, no, let me hold on. Government does not have to be in the business of holding on to property. Let me be frank. I hear this talk tonight about a new baby bank. For what? For what? What baby bank we want? There's something called correspondent banking in this country. Okay. Right? And that if we don't have it right, you understand? We will suffer the consequences. Allow the private players to continue in the market and collect the taxes from them. We don't have to listen.
You understand what correspondent banking is?
Hold on.
Because I think you pay off.
No. I didn't get back there.
No, tell us what correspondent banking is.
Correspondent banking is when banks interact with other banks for on the behalf of the other customers in relation to deposits, chain and all.
And what relation is that to
hold on,
taxation?
let me speak now. Let me speak. Right? So when you hear people talk about the BNB Bank being sold, Republic Bank came and took up, and you can confirm this.
I got.
Hold on. Republic Bank came and bought the shares. That when I told Barbados to come forward to buy shares, Thompson said they don't buy one. And Thompson had the better part of it. The better part of the same shares they buy one, Barbados don't buy. But I walk there. But the point I want to make, right, is that when BNB was taken over by Republic Bank, it saw a net profit of over $100 million in the first year. You can speak to that. Don't tell me you can't speak that.
It did not see a net profit of over $100 million. You are telling lies.
How much? No, that's not true. That is not true. That is not true.
And I will not allow you to sit down here and tell me sort of vicious, untainted lies
What's the profit?
on this show
Hold
tonight.
on.
You're telling lies.
Gentlemen, what's the profit they made?
No, $100 million.
That is not true.
BNB Bank never made $100 million in profit.
I thought BNB Bank. I said Republic Bank.
Republic Bank never made
That is
$100
not
million
true.
in profit in Barbados either.
That is not true.
It is true.
Listen.
Listen. The reports are available.
Wait, hold on.
Go and do
Jeremy
your
Stevens,
research.
we have you viewing the show. Can you confirm that or not, sir? We have Jeremy
Republic
Stevens.
Bank made more than $100 million in profit.
They made $100 million in sales, not profits. You know the difference between profits and sales?
Listen.
Hold on.
So the point I want to make, madam, you know the truth. Republic Bank came and ran.
The most money profit Republic Bank ever made was $52 million.
Listen,
so you are here telling lies.
No, Jeremy, don't even carry me there.
Why
don't even carry me there.
Because I can tell you the amount
but bring it back. I can bring it. But there's the point I want to make.
We get some.
This point I want to make. That when the BNB Bank was managed by the government of Barbados, it was running it wasn't efficient.
Okay, part of that.
Hold on. I can't talk about insurance company. When ICBL was sold, is when ICBL started to make a profit when it was sold. There is nothing, and the government should not, I would not sit down here and encourage the government to get involved in those types of businesses going forward. That's not the business of the government, because that we got a mindset and a culture in this country as it relates to public servants that will not allow the government to adequately make its fair share in the market if the government take back over
Let me come further.
those
Just for the records, in November 2019, it was recorded that the bank did make over $1 million in profit, but based on the 100 million based Republic Bank, based on the financial we have seen and carried out in the media, is a very profitable bank.
In Barbados?
The period,
Not in Barbados.
the period we are on the negotiation for the bank recorded over $100 million in profit. This is on Barbados today.
And this is over 3 years.
But I just tell
It's
you
$30 million
hello,
a year. Patrick is telling
hello, I
lies.
can only read what thing. 23 of November.
Alright,
November.
fellas.
Over.
Realistically,
Right.
wait,
I just
wanna
saying,
make a
reading.
point
I just
quickly,
reading what I see.
and then we can let Colin go on to make his point. But we have him back on the phone, right?
We're calling one house now.
Now the issue is that you made the point
Sorry, which is a
about
4.5
public
increase
servants.
over 3 years
You
journey.
made the point about public servants and the management
So
of
you
the bank, right? I know for a fact that a lot of political interference helped to destroy the Barbados National Bank, right? So within that, I don't necessarily agree with the point that we don't need a bank. I think we need a bank.
Thank you,
right?
Jeremy, for the clarity.
I think we need a bank. However, the bank needs to be away from the control of politicians, because as you know, politicians.
I agree with that 100%.
Right.
I agree with that 100%. So we should get involved in the bank at all.
But
But
politicians
you
never
know-
control the BNP. It was
But-
controlled by a board.
But there's political influence in the industries, and that's the
I
problem
never
that helps to
disagree
destroy.
about it.
No,
But-
it's not only
I
to do
said
with
that.
banking. This is a lot of the industries that we have in the economy.
Yeah.
Because politicians, I would say, and their trust to gain money to fund their initiatives will usually lean into industries to influence it, also helping engage in nepotism and helping friends to be able to gain money and contracts for big private players. That is where the problem and the leakage is going for out to the economy.
Bring back
Colin?
in the caller.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can't hear
Sound
it.
low though. Sound low.
We bring it back in for
Hold on.
a couple of minutes.
Sound low.
You should get your phone, B. Just saying. Keep putting on speaker.
I'm trying to get you on speaker.
Sorry, young man, though. You got a smartphone, but
Colin, you mind just putting down and calling back again quickly? Quickly.
yeah, I know. Understand. So, again, I just want to thank each of you for viewing. We're here with myself, Kimar Safri, and Kimar Stewart to my left, probably your right. The Manny Small, who has just joined us, and put him on the telephone. And then Jeremy Beckford and our guest, Patrick King. Very interesting conversation. As always, Patrick King seems to be a very interesting guy to have a
Patrick is bringing
call.
some red herrings here tonight that have to be addressed.
Yeah, so we have a caller. Go ahead, Colin. I hope Patrick would have answered your first question, but if not, go ahead.
Can't hear us still.
What's wrong with this one?
Colin may have to take.
Go ahead, Colin.
But can you hear me clearly?
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Mr. King,
Go ahead, he can hear you.
okay. Mr. King, please, sir, my full name is Colin Roach, and I am approaching you with that serious level of respect. No yelling, nothing, because I don't have no political agenda at all, period. I'm only concerned about the nation. So I'm saying to you, sir, that I worked in 3 banks already: Chase Manhattan Bank, Citicorp, and Dime Savings Bank. I am well aware of the differences between a private bank and a national public commercial bank and their uses. Every country, sovereign country, should have a national bank. It is important because that bank helps to generate revenue that is needed for capital projects and so on for the actual country, instead of going into your pocket for taxes all the time. This is the importance of any state-owned money-making entity, sir. This is all I'm trying to establish, that the country needs to be making money so that we do not have to continuously keep dipping into our own pockets, with increased taxes all the time. That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
So I'm
Listen, I got you covered. My problem with creating a national bank in this country is efficiency. Explain to me what are your suggestions for it being run efficiently, given the culture of Barbadians? I want to hear it.
Oh, okay. The bank, as we know, was making money. But as you guys just established just now, there was interference from the political sector. Now, in my experience working in the banking, there's political interference everywhere. The issue is to put these individuals either in prison when they violate or fire them from their jobs. Not have fancy talks on brass tacks and stuff like that. That's not going to help it. I'm looking at an article here right now that was done in 2018 by the Caribbean Life paper in New York. It says the new Barbados administration intends to pursue and prosecute public officials suspected of corruption as far up the ladder as former government ministers. This is what is needed. That's it. You find out that politicians are interfering in the state affairs and causing problems. Let's not waste any time. Let's get them prosecuted or have them removed from office for life. No more public life for them. We have to stop it, and there are examples across the globe that we can use, Mr. King. The banks, the bank was making money. That's the important thing. It was making money. Whatever else needs to be tightened up within the management area and so on, that can be dealt with. It happens in the private sector. It can happen in our sector as well.
Shamola, you know I disagree with you, right?
Go ahead. Explain to me why.
Well, you see, you were already on this program. Me and you already tussled out on down to brass tacks. You always have this belief that there should be a national bank in the country. I am sadly going to agree with Patrick tonight that we don't necessarily need to have a commercial bank of our own in the country, for the simple reason that government's role is to facilitate and regulate. A government does not need to be involved in the owning of state assets. It has been proven time and time again that when governments own assets, they mismanage the said assets. Now, the way forward, this is what I will say to you. Ensure that we tighten, hold on, Shimon. Ensure that we tighten our tax structure. Ensure that we have proper regulation of these commercial entities. Ensure that the business environment is set so that these entities can actually engage in productive business within Barbados to ensure that Barbadians can get jobs, and ensure that when these entities make money, that they remit to the government of Barbados what is due to the government of Barbados, so that it will redound to the benefit of every Barbadian. We do not need to own a commercial bank to have funds circulated for Barbadians.
Jermaine,
what is your name, sir?
Jermaine Beckford.
Jermaine, you based on what you said just now, the problem isn't the entity.
Yeah.
The problem is the government.
I want to respond to that.
Go ahead.
No, let the gentleman there talk.
All right, go ahead, Carla.
All right, Mr. Beckford.
Yes, sir.
Taxes is chicken feed, okay? We are the government. Let's not get this thing twisted. The people that we elect and put into office, they are representing us. They are representing our interests. And there are things that we need done in our country. We cannot keep dipping into our private pockets with increased taxes and handing over to the administration when we can have state-owned entities that can generate that great amount of capital needed to do work.
How would that benefit the country?
No, let me finish. Not only that, every time we have to do something in this country, we have to borrow money. And when you borrow money, you have to pay that back. And you have to pay that back with exorbitant interest. I am saying to you that we as a people need to invest in our own livelihood. That means we're supposed to have organs working for the benefit of us. We have the underprivileged that needs to be looked after. You're not going to go into your pocket and pay nobody's rent every month, especially those government people that live inside the government houses. They are going to need assistance, and that assistance comes from you, me, everyone that is sitting in that chair, the people that are listening, and the wider Barbados. And taxes cannot do it only. We must have state-owned entities. Mr. Beckford, I want to get up with you personally and let you and I get into some serious research so that I can prove to you my point and you can prove to me your point, because I am absolutely serious about what I'm saying.
And I have no problem with that, Colin.
Alright, Colin, we got to wrap up because there are other persons trying to get on. But thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you, Colin. Also, want to thank you for your call. If you want to call us, 846-9912 on WhatsApp only.
Kimar's view on that same topic regarding if the country need its own bank or if it doesn't, and if it would assist in the financial profitability of the government.
Well, I'm sure that you guys heard when the Prime Minister came into office, she was speaking about approximately $9 billion that we have in the banks.
Yeah.
Right? And she came up with, tried to come up with some initiatives to be able to get investment going from that angle. Part is that the banks that are in the country are foreign owned, and I think part of the reasoning that Colin was going along is that if the banks were locally owned, that Barbadians would more likely be inclined to invest those profits back into the economy as opposed to having them stored away doing nothing.
So how would we invest them into the economy?
How?
Yeah, tell me how.
You mean in terms of ideas?
No, you see, people always talk about owning the country owning its own commercial bank and how we were down to this benefit and that benefit. I want you to tell me one benefit that was being redounded to the people of Barbados when the Barbados National Bank was in existence that is not being redounded now that Republic Bank is in existence.
Well, as the point I made, that the profits are going into the pockets of foreign nationals.
Previously, there were no profits.
How do you mean there were no profits?
When the reason why the government of Barbados sold the Barbados National Bank was because it was becoming a loss-making entity.
Well, I don't essentially know if that's
so it was a burden on the public.
I don't essentially know that's totally true. The point I made about political interference is that, and this is what was very right, is that non-performing loans were up, right?
Yeah.
Significantly causing the bank to lose profits, right?
Yeah.
Part of the non-performing loans had to do with a lot of political interference and giving loans and monies to persons who were not repaying the monies, right? But again, due to political favors.
So you hold on. So are you ready going to sit down here, Kimar? And you're a person I have a lot of respect for.
Yes.
But you know, this topic of banking and me, I take this very serious. All right. I will not allow you to sit down here and compromise the integrity of seasoned bankers by saying that persons were able to walk into any commercial bank in Barbados.
That's not what I said,
No, you just said that because of
you're taking the man's story and putting it into
but that's not what I
Moving
said.
on.
That is what you just said.
Moving on. At the end of the day, yeah, so Patrick, somebody asked that we can't let you go without wrapping up point in Barbados and speaking about that. All of this is the way forward. The conversation people may think, because some people may have their own political agenda or whatever the case may be. So we want to talk about Liat. What you want to address first, Liat or Court?
I'm going to just claim for him because the truth is, right, and I've been back and forth with a number of individuals on this whole topic of crime. And the persons in certain sections and quarters of this country seem to suggest that the Attorney General should be held.
Shamosa, you pissing you off, Jeremy.
That the Attorney General should be held hostage and responsible for the 49 plus murders we had last year, and then I think we had 10 good so far here.
No, last 10. We had a triple murder.
I think even I think it's being.
We had a triple murder and a double murder. That's quite in 2 instances.
Right, but anyway, I ain't got the figures for this year so far because it wasn't foreign.
How do you know the figures?
Right. Go ahead, Patrick.
But the point I want to make, right? The point I want to make, right, is that we got to look at society as a whole, and we got to seriously zero in on what is creating the problems and the circumstances that help to create the murders in this country. Now, if I decide that I'm going to settle the issue with Jeremy by not wanting to report the matter or the issue that created the circumstances in the first place, and I believe that I am giving God God-given right. I have the God-given right, rather, right? Because that I probably purchased a gun from Joe Blow at $800. That the means by which I settled the dispute should be by the use of a firearm. You understand me? And that if you have members in the society thinking in that manner, right, then it would escalate. Now, I hear the talk about high unemployment that created this problem. I don't buy that nonsense at all. Because we had high unemployment in this country before, and we had the murders that we had.
So what do you think the problem, Patrick?
I believe the problem is, right? The problem is that one, people in the country.
Somebody told you to ask the question, stop stalling.
People, no, they can't. Hold on, let me speak. People in this country, right, especially our young men, I believe that the government, and that's why I allowed this administration for going in the direction of seeking to ensure that you put systems and programs in place to better engage the youth in the country.
Name one.
Right? The youth service that they don't rename. What's the new name now?
They always had a youth service.
Oh, no, rename. No,
You advanced court, Jeremy. And
right. They don't do a lot of. Don't get that road with me, Jeremy. And a whole set of other things that the government has done to embrace and give young people an opportunity.
No, but
right?
that's part of the solution. I would ask you what you think the problem is.
No, I can get there. I can get
I will also say what I think the problem
I can
is.
get there.
I want to introduce an angle too, right? We on the IMF program. And evidence shows that countries on the IMF programs, right, particularly ones with Barbados with rather rigorous targets, that crime tends to increase. If you look at Jamaica and you look at the current statistics, let's look at the current statistics under an IMF program, you will see that there were massive increases in crime. So do you think that Barbados being on the IMF program has any correlation to
No. I think it's nonsense.
I think it's a fair question.
It's nonsense. It may be fair to you, but it's nonsense.
Right. So, but what you think is the main problem?
The main problem is our youth, right? Is that
youth, the crime.
The crime.
Right.
Ain't
only you.
Yeah, but a large percentage is youth that committed the crime.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Right? I believe that greater engagement, they are not being engaged. And that you see, I hear people talk about the varieties in the music from Jamaica. We had the music from Jamaica for eons. So I am not even prepared to go there. I think that the problem is that parents in this country need to play a greater role in the lives of their
I personally think the problem in the country is family.
the family. Yeah.
So we mentioned about parents, and the question is, are we actually dealing with a major problem, which is this is the underlying problem, the family? Do we have programs in place to help broken families? We have a lot of one parent family fathers. Are we dealing with that?
No.
And that's why
the best thing David Thompson ever did, right? You see that whole thing with families first, and I took offense when the Barbados Party attacked it, because it was heading in the right direction. This whole thing with families first, because that you can get a lot of spin-offs from family first, in that you can put a lot of programs. Because what you gotta get people to get a buy-in, and once people get a buy-in, you understand me? You would then move the young people from headed in one direction to another direction. That's why I'm of the firm belief, right, that the time must come in this country where parents are held responsible for the actions of their children.
I wanna add something to what you're saying. Now,
that's what I believe.
I saw
and the Christian values coming back.
I saw that both yourself and Damani went down the road of blaming the family, blaming the parents. And you know, everyone in society has to take blame for the current situation in Barbados. But you know what I really want to see in Barbados, Patrick?
What do you mean everybody got to take responsibility?
Right.
Lost for that. Don't have that. I can't take responsibility.
We all have to take personal responsibility for our children. And the actions of our children. We all have to take personal responsibility.
Makes sense.
But what I want the government to do now, because realistically, you elect a government and you say, listen, this is the situation that's presented in the country, and I want you to fix this. I don't need you to complain about the last man. So, we gotta move on things like a parole system, right? The time has come where we have to have a proper rehabilitation system for our ex-convicts It makes no sense that a man goes to prison for stealing today, spends 6 months in prison, comes out of prison, can't find a job, right? In some cases, they can't find some place to live, so they gotta come to Kimar, Safri here for lodging. And then because he's going back out on the streets, he doesn't have food unless he comes back. Hold on, the man. He comes back to Kimar and gets a meal on evenings, right? And he finds himself going back and stealing again.
But Jermaine,
hold on.
But Jermaine, you starting at the end of the problem.
But
the problem don't start there. We're trying to prevent him from getting prison. I don't understand you.
Listen to me for a minute. Right?
Prevention.
Listen to me for a minute. Listen to me for a minute. The reality is, right, that you have 270,000 people in Barbados. You have probably you got a certain amount of adults, you got a certain amount of children. All the measures that y'all are talking about with reference to thing, those measures will work on the children. Because you can train a child that is under your control. Once the horse gets a little stable, sometimes you can't pull it back. Right? So you have to find a solution for those whom are already in the system. You gotta find a way to tell a young man who starts out by stealing candy and going to prison one day on a charge because they don't put yourself to escalate in their criminal intent and activities. We have to find the justice system in Barbados. It makes no sense, Patrick, just did a law degree. It makes no sense that you have persons going to court for 10 years for a case that is not being called. It makes no sense that when witnesses to crimes are moving on and saying, look, I have no more interest in it because the crown has taken too long to get back to me. It makes no sense that the police charge a man for murder today and 7 years down the road, you cannot present a file to the court to have the man executed. Hold on, the money. All of that, all of these things that I'm speaking about are the failings of our justice system. And these are part and parcel of the reason why criminal activity persists in Barbados.
But Jermaine, hold on.
When you say that reform has started?
Huh?
When you say reform has started?
Yeah, of course it's
show me the reform.
But
because the judges don't mean that you got reform.
If you can't say that reform has started, you don't live in this blasted country.
But I think one of the biggest problems that Jermaine get to understand.
Because you should know the Attorney General just changed laws regarding people that get murdered again bail.
Yeah. But let me hold on.
Small party problem.
All right,
but that doesn't deal with the police that does not deal with the police that do not present the files to the court.
All right, Jermaine, hold on.
You remember when they had the case?
Jermaine, you going off on 6 topics. Hello, you went on 6 topics. Hold on, the money. Here's what the challenge is, right? Is that sometimes when you're naive in thinking, or you're not advanced in knowing these things is the problem. There is a lot of programs in Barbados that are doing exceptionally well as it relates to dealing with parents with criminally intent children or bad behaved children. There's a lot of NGOs and a lot of organizations that are on the ground fighting these causes. There are a number of programs within the prison sector. You understand? We understand where people are working 2 and 3 jobs as mothers, I think, and we're not making excuses for them. But at the same time, what we have to understand is that a lot of the times, a lot of these programs are not able to reach everybody or reach the large numbers is because of the lack of resources, because of the lack of technical support, the lack of partnership. And where it is that several organizations may want to do it by themselves and there is no partnership. Put your on mute. So the problem is not that it's not being done. Sorry, the thing is not being done is that many times as organization we are making drastic impact. The same thing with the homeless. We are making big impact. But here's what: the more that we help, the more we help, a larger percent come. So there has to be where we now look to help the organizations. But we can't combat crime on our young people. We can't combat crime in a whole, but help the organization that have significant success in these areas.
We have a caller. Good night, caller. Go ahead. Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good night. Greetings, Comrade Kimar.
That's good.
Just refresh me because I missed half of what you all was saying. Exactly what it's a question what the program is all about, if I may ask.
Well, we're just here with Patrick King discussing the way forward. We've diverted to a number of topics and delve into Patrick King's life. We're now talking about the way forward. Discussion is just rounding about.
Patrick King, the guy that's on the that talks a lot, the guy, the old guy.
I don't know, because you're a DLP, that might be your
Excuse me, may I say something, sir? It doesn't matter.
Sir, can you pose a question, sir? Can you just pose a question? You come on the show to pose. We don't have time for this, sir.
Yes, I come show to pose a question.
Go ahead, sir.
This question is to you. What you have to say about, we're supposed to have strict protocols in place. Okay? We recently had a particular rap mogul, right, that's been spotted, is all over the news, wearing no mask on. His entourage was allowed to leave the air hangar, right, and they were not sent to be in quarantine. What do you feel about that?
Okay.
Don't you think that's a little bit two-sided?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Sir, that matter was already put to rest, and we care not to get involved in it, because the matter was put to rest by the Co-Vizier of Barbados on CBC News Barbados to see that the gentleman to which you are speaking about that came into Barbados, a famous rap artist, was in fact tested and uploaded, him and his entourage uploaded the relevant documents needed to clear immigration when he came to Barbados. And with that, when the authorities checked the gentleman and his entourage documents, they were cleared to be released from the airport and were free to roam Barbados. And these measures were already discussed by Co-Vizier, by the Ministry of Health, numerous times, with numerous bulletins and numerous information being placed on GIS and all other platforms of the procedure into Barbados as it relates to the COVID situation. Sir, that matter was put to rest. If you want further details on that, CBC News carried information, and the Co-Vizier himself was on the news discussing that. We can move on.
Can we finish off with this topic?
Sorry, hold on. It was said that the protocol was followed. They are required not to correct. Thank you, Dominique. And as I said, the gentleman wanted, and it was a lawyer. We're coming from Canada. So, sir, feel free to go into the news. If you don't tune into CBC, there is a review on a short snippet on the page on Facebook, and you can check it over and over again. Let's go.
I want to get in on the point of the family. From my observation, I saw a big switch in society, particularly under when it was the Vibes Cartel versus Movado War.
Yeah, I remember.
Right? I think that was the change in society. A lot of the younger kids actually switched out a lot of the music they were listening to, and the behaviors in society totally changed from my point of view. Right? So from then we stepped up into there's the mumble rap, and then there's the programming coming from the rap world that you have to be this sort of gangster, there's always guns in your face, there's drugs, like taking drugs now is a happy thing to do, right? So all type of new fancy drugs coming on the market, and those drugs are available in Barbados, right? I'm not saying that everybody will follow that line because they're destroying. We just go back to the family. There are persons who have that family upbringing that's very strong and they will not vary.
Yeah.
But there are very weak households, and somebody made the point about single mothers who are out working all the time, leaving kids to raise themselves, and they feed themselves a diet of this rap culture in America. So I know persons might not like to admit it, but there is a correlation to what we watch, what we listen to the family, to our environments, to how quote unquote successful, and I mean not in like business or anything, but how quote unquote successful the child's life is.
Yeah.
And I think that part of the policies of the government, we need to go back again and do this thing from nursery straight up to secondary schools. I think the time has come for total educational reform, where we not teach our kids a basic quote-unquote white man education, because we see the evidence that many of our children fall through the cracks of the education system from the common entrance level.
Yeah.
So-
Common entrance was today.
And common entrance was today. So I know there's a lot of removal of the common entrance. I am neither here nor there for its removal. What I am for is a way to be able to impact all of those who are not good at math or English, but have something to.
Would you?
Hold on, Jermaine. I would move this conversation to. We do have a more the panel that is supposed to come next week. Supposed to deal with this, so I will lead to that so that the Dominic is saying the third sector of our economy needs to be empowered. This is how real society change will be driven. Kimar will tell you, and I can. We need to messaging at the same time. We need to learn a lot within the private sector, and that is the more important thing. Is that we do have organizations out here doing the work, but with limited to no resources, and then we cannot impact that we should. Even though our success is so high, it is at the same time so low, because the more we take off the streets, the more come on the street. The more young we help, the more bad behavior we have.
There's only so much our organization can handle. There's only so much they can do. That's why I said the problem is the home. The problem.
But their organization reaching Paradox was a great organization for reaching out to parents. But that's what I'm saying. Over the years,
Major Permanent Network believe that they should have parenting programs. We have one of those parenting programs
For both men and women.
to probably start up, to probably get going as soon as we can.
Of course.
Saying to be a major permanent network, and then we move on, but we need parenting programs, and we need to work on the family. If the family could be straight and get right, our community, our society, in the whole country will be much better.
But
I want to make the last
hold on, let me get the guests back on.
I just want to make a point.
Hold on, let me get Patrick.
I just want to close on this whole issue here, because I feel strongly about it. I believe that government should sit and look at bringing some kind of legislation that will hold parents accountable for the actions of their children. From the cradle until they get age 18, age 16, they can determine the age. The reason why I am saying this, not that I'm targeting men, but men are the culprits in this whole exercise.
Men are the main culprits.
Yeah, so don't.
They're not the culprits.
No. They are. Let me explain, right? Because.
So women are not culprits.
Yeah, but at the end, the children. Well, the man going on with the business. So the point I am making, right?
I know men that.
Hold on. The point that I am making is that if the legislation is brought where a man is, in other words, if little Johnny go to school, disrupt the school, create a whole set of mayhem that may bring about a financial cost to anyone and the premises of the school. The fact that the father is not in the life of that child and gone up with the business and move on to another relationship should not exempt him from the consequences of Johnny, you understand what I'm saying? So you bring him back in line through legislation that if what Johnny damaged at school costs $2,000, you gotta pay for it, brother. No. What I'm thinking here, right, is that this in and of itself will create greater responsibility on the part of the father. So even though he move on, he will still have a duty and a responsibility.
We will hope so.
No, because once he got to pay the price for the consequences of the minor, trust me.
But then if you can't pay.
But then he ought to be present.
Stop there.
No, maybe we gotta find ways and
But at the
mechanisms.
end of the day, the child have two parents, the mother and the father. And as you know, they say the courts in Barbados bias towards women.
Definitely.
And a court or marriage or whatever might come and say, at the end of the day, the parents responsible, yes. They can't pay, so you send to prison. But which one to prison?
No,
Man.
let me,
And the reason
hold
why
on.
they make city man because at the end the child still needs someone to care for it.
No, but the reason why
Well, you
I'm
can't
saying
do
the reason
something
why I'm
wrong
saying the
with
man is that in most
You got find
instances,
where the neglect
when the
come
man leave the home and starts a new relationship, he seldom continue to be financial upkeep of that child, you know. Very seldom. So what I'm saying is that since that he's not fulfilling his role financially in the life of that child,
Or otherwise.
or otherwise,
Correct,
and he steps out, it means that the bulk of the finances now stands
And
on the
everything
shoulders of the mother. So the mother can't pay twice. So she buying his school shoes, she buying Johnny shirt, she buying Johnny pants, she's feeding him. And then if Johnny go back up something at school she must pay too, let him pay.
Okay, good. We have Patrick King's point on that. As we come down, hold on. I want the more points on that particular topic. I would like to go down on the road with the way forward. Leah, we got that attached, and then before we wrap up in a couple of minutes, Patrick, what's your take on Leah? And after that, I would really like to get your whole overview of the administration, the way forward, some solutions, so that the people that are listening that are desirous of that can get that. Okay?
Right.
Let me go.
Now, my issue with Leah is that I support the government in its quest to
Liquidate it.
liquidate Leah.
Right.
I'm going to explain. I do not believe that it is fair to taxpayers across the Caribbean to be called upon every time that Leah fails to be the ATM, because that when governments agree to pay $4 and $5 and $10 million for the upkeep of Leah, they have to take it from somewhere. Where does it come from? The taxpayers.
The upkeep of Leah and also Antigua.
So I get in there, right? So I understand Gas and Brown concern.
He's more benefiting from it than anybody.
Precisely, he's benefiting. So I understand his concern.
It's legit.
But Gas and Brown concern cannot set the platform or the stage for the other three shareholders.
And he's not a majority shareholder.
And he's not a majority shareholder. That's the bottom line. So my thing is that if we can liquidate Leah, my understanding, and I don't know if I don't want to quote me, but my understanding is that the 6 players who are coming in now to fill the void for Leah will be leasing the carriers. You understand me? To service the region. The challenge I'm having, and that's what I like about the commentary coming from the Prime Minister in relation to the taxes. But the reality, because that sounds good on paper, what the Prime Minister might have to explain for ordinary Barbadians is this. All of the Caribbean, most of the Caribbean countries has international airports. Borrowed money. And that the repayment of those airports, the money going to come from somewhere to pay for these airports. So that way the landing fees are exorbitant. So I need to understand how you can trim it to bring a ticket that cost me $600 to go to St. Lucia and $550.
Which is the
This is astronomical. How do you move that from $550 to $300 or $275?
I would like to know how it is that a private entity will now come, take over and do it, and well, Leah can do it before.
The point.
Wait. Part of the problem was that the cost of the ticket, the majority of that cost was taxes.
That's it, precisely.
Right. So if we liquidate the airline now, right, and the government agreed to forego some of that tax money for, I would say, for a longer term benefit, that would be the ideal position to take. Now, if you track back to a lot of the commentary coming out from the persons who had stake in Leah, they were saying, well, hey, we are not willing to let go of that tax money because that helps to contribute significantly to our upkeep. Right? So guessing that's where Gaston Brown is coming from. If it is that the politicians could get to the point and say, well, look, we forego X amount of revenue per year out to the taxes that we collected from Leah to be able to increase your travel through the Caribbean, that is the best position.
Yes, I agree.
I want to make a point. I can be a bit controversial. I think that the governments in the Caribbean are very hypocritical, and I'll tell you the reason why I say that. We're here sitting down discussing Leah, putting monies into Leah, promoting in regional travel. We have a Caricom project, and the only way that you can actually make the Caricom project work is if people actually are able to go from one part of the Caribbean to the next. Because other than that, the project that they wanted. Now, whilst we are criticizing LEAC for the money that it loses on a yearly basis, do any of you in here know the amount of money that the government of Barbados and the other governments across the region pay American Airlines, British Airways, Virgin Atlantic, Copa, all these other foreign airlines that come into the Caribbean? Do any of you know the amount of money that the governments of the Caribbean collectively paid those airlines to fly here? I remember a lot of airlines are flying here. They tell you up front, to fly the Caribbean is a loss-making exercise. So if you want me to fly from America or England or Brazil or wherever to the Caribbean, you got to pay me money to guarantee that when I fly, regardless if I got one passenger or 100 passengers, it is a profit-making exercise for me. Instead of criticizing LEAC, we should be seeking to deal with those issues. We actually got people in the Caribbean that want to travel throughout the region, right? So make I agree with you guys, lower the taxes, right?
Remember, we are Red Jet.
Yeah, but lower the taxes.
Yeah, but Red Jet failed because of that same low rate flying, and it didn't work for
I don't
them.
necessarily.
But no, hear me. I'm saying
I was a part of some of that discussion. Just me, they failed because they had a lot of low rate. $9.95, $9.99 to fly from here. $9.99 for like a keep up airline.
No.
Come on, man.
I'm saying we have to lower the taxes.
Come on, man.
We have to lower the taxes and allow.
But we can't. We just add tax. I don't see lowering taxes on right now. The more the companies get into a financial debt, the higher obviously taxes and airfare would always be to obviously keep that lower. To keep balancing out or whatever. The problem with LEAC, no government has been able to successfully balance LEAC. No CEO has been able to successfully bring LEAC to that place where they can say LEAC is profitable or LEAC is manageable. So at the end of the day, if the Prime Minister now come to power and see that obviously this is costing us some money over and over, every month or every year you're looking in is a plea for money, money. It's a draining leash on the society.
But was LEAC supposed to be a profit-making?
Any business you get in has to be profitable. You cannot get into a business to say I have.
But hold on,
where did it say that LEAC in itself was not to make profit?
The sole purpose of LEAC is to transport persons from one part of the Caribbean to the next.
Jermaine, you will be foolish enough to think that any business is to make loss.
It is also to promote the Caricom project. So we have to make a decision. We either deal with Caricom or we want profit.
Part of the discussions around LEAC is that, okay, if we had 4 prime ministers at the table, there was a general agreement, alright, look, taxes is too high.
Yeah,
right?
Taxes are too high.
But you can't lower them.
However, I can say Mr. Gonzalo said, I can lower mine. Then Mr. Chasahai said,
sorry,
I didn't want to call no boy names, but then he said, well, look, you got to lower yours first. Then the other guy saying, man, you got to lower yours first. So then it comes back down to a trust issue where the stakeholders don't want to make the move because they feel that they can be back raised by one or the other. This comes down to issues of, this brings back down to the issue of Caricom and the viability of Caricom in 2020 going forward.
Yeah.
If you know our political history, the federation that we had back in times still have the same issues in this day, right? To this day. So I think that we have to look at Caricom, the role of Caricom, which particularly focuses on business, politics, because also that issue with Guyana, I don't think people understand the fundamentals of that too. So I think we need to revisit the role of Caricom. It cannot be talk shops all over again. We have to get back to the days of pen to paper, signing treaties, and being accountable to those treaties, because persons get into the treaties and then want to do what they feel like after, because you're saying, well, I is an independent country and you can't tell me what to do, so the treaties could take a hike. It cannot be that, because if you go into the European Union or you going to any of those Scandinavian countries, if you're in the European Union, you can abide by European rules, or you can face heavy sanctions.
Yeah.
Right? So we need to get serious as Caricom, as Caribbean people, and realize that nobody ain't coming to save us. The tourists that we waiting on to come back after COVID ain't coming as soon as we think, and we need to focus internally, not only as a Barbados or a St. Lucia or a Jamaica, but as a Caribbean region, and realize that we are interdependent and we need one another to survive.
But that's precisely the reason why, and I can go back there before and then wrap up because I'm going to soon have to leave.
Yeah.
The point I was making to the minister responsible for immigration at Henson, we cannot be pushing a free movement of people across the Caribbean and then believe that when Caricom nationals come in, we can treat them how they like. If it is agreed through the Treaty of Chaguaramas, I think it's Article 5, I think, or Article 4, that we can get automatic 6-month stay, and that once the persons under the Immigration Act Cap 119 does not present a challenge for the country when the land and the island, they're not a national threat to security and to thing, and that they can satisfy the requirements as it relates to the upkeep of the country.
Yeah.
They should be made to spend the automatic 6 months. You cannot have immigration officers in this country walking around breaking off doors and hassling people up to the airport who only spend 3 and 2 months out of the 6 months guaranteed to them under the Treaty of Chaguaramas, and then come and stand up in Parliament and talk nonsense. About free movement of people. It's hypocrisy at the highest level. It's either that we embracing Caricom or we embracing Caricom.
I would like to see though, as we talk about the way forward to Patrick, that the program being extended by the Prime Minister to allow people to come into the country and work from in the country within a year. What I would like to see is that we break that Caricom thing of coming into the country for 6 months and also extend it to our Caricom brothers that 1 year too. Because that 1 year of coming into the country would give us more people in the economy
Providing that they could fund being here for a year.
Well, I mean, like anything you spend, but the economy need money spending to be able to go. So at the end of the day, if they come here, yes, they may take some money and back in the country, which is fine. But more people mean more growth. We are underpopulated, so
I think that's an idea, and I'm close by saying that because I find that there's some degree of fear in this country as it relates to COVID-19.
But it should be.
Hold on. What Barbadians must understand, I can say this now, I can reference some feathers of Barbadians, but I say nevertheless, what Barbadians must understand is that we will have to coexist with the presence of COVID-19. COVID-19 is going everywhere. So we got to understand that clear. Now, how the government manage the process of those persons coming from high risk and hotspot areas, you understand me, will determine the success. I believe that the government's focus should be on long stay visitors.
Agreed.
Right? Long stay visitors. Because a person coming to spend 10 days and 7 days, you understand? Unless we can do rapid testing, that when the person arrives, once the person has been encouraged to have a COVID-19 test taken from their place of origin and arrive in the country, and all of the preliminary requirements has been satisfied, you understand? That will accommodate the visitor for 7 days or 10 days stay. Outside of that, my focus will not be on those individuals. You understand? The next thing that we got to focus on,
what do you think will be crucial?
hold on. It's the authenticity of the uploading of persons who want to travel from the place of origin, who come in with COVID-19 tests. We are not clear on if these particular tests presented to the immigration, you understand me, are indeed authentic, which means that the government must now do their own testing on arrival, as opposed to accepting a COVID-19 test from a traveler. But the truth and the reality of the matter is simply this: that this 72 hours and 24 hours that I hear people talk brandishing around before you travel, let me tell you what it is nonsensical.
Don't address it. Sorry, go ahead, Pastor.
I can do a COVID-19 test today, and let's say I'm traveling on Thursday. If I refuse to isolate myself until I'm ready to travel, or even if I isolate myself until I'm ready to travel, what prevents me from colliding with COVID-19 in my movement to move from one territory to another? You understand? So while I have on my person a certificate that says that I'm COVID-19 free, while I'm traveling to another destination, I can get from somebody else.
I think the question is all about
So the rationale, my thing is that the rationale, what we
you
got
have to live with it.
Precisely.
So,
we got
but I think Barbados have done well to mitigate the risk.
Of course.
And like unlike a lot of countries bigger than ours that have allowed this to escalate, it is not our fault, you know.
No.
Because when Barbados took action, I think the administration took action well. What happened is that the bigger country, US, the Euros, the English, they did not tackle this in the way it should. You
Yes,
understand?
yeah.
And then
I think
it
Trump
allowed
undermine
it.
Yeah,
And not only
yeah.
that, you could see even the British Prime Minister, they undermined it, and then when it became worse, then they wanted to curve it, and then we suffered at the blunt of importing the disease.
Brazil
And Brazil worse. Even the president now got it. So I think that when we try to fear the people coming into the country versus COVID, I think that the government has taken well enough step. If you check the videos, the new layout of the airport,
Yes, yeah.
very well. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, so I don't think that we spared any expense. We didn't spare any thought as it relates to dealing with COVID and as it relates to people coming to our shores.
But I'm going to wrap up by saying this, right? That I do not believe, neither am I convinced, sufficiently so, that the government should lead the way for hoteliers and owners of villas in this country as it relates to COVID-19.
So who should lead it?
Hold on, I can explain. I believe that hoteliers must use creative mechanisms, because all these hoteliers
Spend some of their profits on
all
years.
these hoteliers know the people who come and patronize them on a yearly basis when they travel.
Most of them is regulars.
Use international platforms such as Airbnb and we call it TripAdvisor and all those. You can encourage a visitor, a traveler, that if you are doing a 14-day stay or 28-day stay, I give you the first 3 nights. You understand me? As complimentary. Once you have satisfied your place of origin with a COVID-19 test, and on arrival to Barbados, you have met all the preliminary requirements and results as it relates to the test and you're COVID-19 free. You're coming to spend 14 days at my hotel, 28 days at my hotel. You understand? I give you the opportunity to have 2 tours. Free of cost.
2 tours?
A tour around the island. Most tours when they come, they want move around the island. Okay. So I am prepared to give you, I'm not selling your product, you know.
Okay,
so I like a service.
So I'm prepared to give you 2 tours at your choice. So you can choose a Friday, the Thursday, whatever. You understand me? And the cost will be borne by the hotel.
I agree with you. And I want to go a little bit further by saying that I think we need to focus on Barbadians.
Yeah.
I worked in a hotel, and majority of the guests in the hotels were either white or they were either tourists from not even the Caribbean, but England, Europe and the US, right? I think that to have Barbadians working in these hotels but can't afford to stay there is blasphemy, right?
Why?
I mean, why?
Is a profit making enterprise?
But
you know, talk when we tell you about Leah, talk being a profit making.
My thing is Barbados need to enjoy Barbados.
I agree.
And I don't think that we enjoy the fruits of our labor. Right? I don't think we enjoy the fruits of our labor enough.
Okay.
And I think for any hotel worker that's working in this island, you should at least stay at the same hotel that you work at least once.
Because most businesses, you don't even got the compensation package on the benefits.
Correct. So we need to
So
focus
you can't even
more on
they can't even
Barbadians,
benefit.
and we need to incorporate Barbadians into the local tourism industry a lot further, apart from being a worker in the hotel, because
But
also the
they're
top
pushing
level
staycations
management,
now.
but also
Because
the
they
top
forced
level
to push
management
staycation, not because
in
they want to
hotels.
push staycation.
Top level management in hotels are usually expats from overseas.
I agree with you there. We need to
we
have Barbadians heading our
But
hotels.
there are.
I agree.
but
I really don't care who had it.
No, you have to, because we have an education system that's second to none.
Yeah, but
Our people, hold on, Kimar. Our people who we pay our taxpayers money to educate must be given first priority at jobs in this
listen,
country.
I really,
will see that
listen.
open.
In most cases, I remember there was a certain big name company that was advertising positions for this managerial post, and then it came back. It did it in the paper, and then it came back in the paper saying they found no suitable applicant for this position, but they know that they had attended the position. But then they filled it with somebody from another country. So we all know that in a lot of these cases, they ain't gonna fill it with me, because
should
the
we accept
negotiation doesn't start with the small man at the table. The negotiation start from bringing in people.
Kimar Safri and Kimar Shura, I can ask you all these questions. Should we, as Barbadians, sit down in our country? You have a child. You got a child. The money got a child. I got a child. Right?
I really don't be worried about who run the business. All I worry about business get work.
Should we send our children to school, up to university level?
Pick up the point clearly.
And when they come out, their jobs in this country, and we are selecting to give our Barbadian nationals jobs at the lower end of the scale, but the jobs that making the money, we give them to expats.
But the money,
is that right?
what I'm saying is, regardless,
Patrick, do you think that's right?
No, but so many instances what's happening is that a lot of these hotels are owned by, like for instance, Gordon Book Stewart.
So what?
No, hold on.
You got
So if Gordon Book Stewart own 2 hotels
and
in
got 5
Barbados.
cents.
Yeah, not only 5 cents, he's a non-national, he's a Jamaican.
Yeah.
Right? Now, he would enter into any arrangement with the government that I intend to employ 600 people at my hotel. But my top management must come from Jamaica.
Yeah.
No, the government, hold on.
And the government can say no.
No.
You go employ the agents.
The government,
No.
The government comes to you every 5 years instead of
But
wanting
the government,
the government said they can defend your
I think
interests. They can say that they go employ the agents.
you don't know. You didn't say.
How do you ask a government to forego 600 people potentially
For one manager.
Patrick, he's just a little hot here.
Ain't a law on here, it's reality.
It's not reality.
When I get coming to that, I get employed 600 of your citizens.
I
I only want about 50 from overseas to come manage whatever. You can tell me who you can tell me.
But not only that. But hold on. But not only that, the money. But hold on. Ain't about circumvent business explain.
Just so that you can bring in who you want.
Jermaine, so when you the boss of
you
your company?
Huh?
When you the boss of your company? You are no.
I ain't getting you.
No. But here's what.
But
My thing is the money is that at the end of the day, the people has a standard, and the standards are not necessarily trained in Barbados. So they may have their people trained already for years. That they may say, well, Patrick, you was in Jamaica running this part of the company for years, but I can elevate because it's sending you to Barbados because Patrick know the business.
Correct.
So that's just a difference of how people move.
From me working with these companies, the one you mentioned, they have their professionals in other areas around the world because they have more than one hotel, and they switch around people and they bring as they see fit.
Correct.
But Barbados benefit.
And why would you have an issue when a man hiring 600 people and only one brand 20 or so because he ain't bringing another 100 from overseas.
That's the.
Hold on.
I want to laugh because Patrick has to go. Patrick has to go.
I have to ask a question.
But you can ask the questions that can't only show. We done.
Jermaine, hold on. Kimar speak.
Hold on, Kimar. You are a person who is looking to enter politics in the future. I want to tell Barbadians tonight.
So you're looking at the politics now?
the policy that Barbadians
But
should
every-
take second rate to jobs in this
But
country.
actually, let me see
Yeah,
where how the
policy.
thing how to ask that question.
Go ahead, Kimura.
But you
No,
don't understand, no?
No, they might let man talk. You don't know every policy
You
is.
see a man that working at a company that is not Bajan owned and is managed by a person outside of Barbados, and he here want to talk shit.
I want my agent left in to go overseas.
Alright,
and
let me
You
get,
speak,
let me get
Kimura.
on point, right? The fact of the matter is the persons who come at the negotiation table though, I believe government should mandate that even if you bring in the expat, that you must train a Barbadian in the position that you are coming to hold.
Thank you.
It's no two ways.
But that's about it. The
Wait.
people I can use a
I
particular
say
hotel
they
in this
can
country
come-
that everybody was straight overseas.
No, let the man speak,
Wait,
Kimar.
they
Let the
can
man
come.
Oh,
speak.
you don't want facts?
The
Let the man
expat,
speak.
the expat could come even if you want to go to the highest level.
Yeah.
However, as no matter what position you hold, you must train a Barbadian in the same standards that you have.
Thank
Even
you.
if the Barbadian does not hold the job that you have immediately, they must leave with the skill. Because a Barbadian can go.
But
you
it's
know-
certificate skill too.
Yes, a certified skill because a Barbadian can leave Barbados and go anywhere in the world and work,
Thank
and
you.
he can repatriate.
I know at a particular hotel because my brother's girlfriend worked there, and they have training at the international level. You know? So these people don't let me be naive to think that people don't go into brand name hotels and don't go get trained. Butlers in certain hotels in this country has to get training.
Yeah,
Not for no
like
poo
hotel.
training. No, them just fly overseas, spend 2 or 3 weeks in another hotel, and a month or what, and come back with some skill sets. It got business wobble here with skills. They may have best for that job, and we can never find another 5-star hotel in Barbados to offer that kind of skills that they have. But they have the skills that they need to be able to go other places if they had to transition from Barbados overseas. So don't let me be naive to think that BHS don't get trained. There's brand new hotels that cannot land in this country, and to keep the standards that they have, must send Germany and Bedford for training. Because standards is what drives revenue.
But you,
And that's why BHS just feel in their business, because they ain't got the standards.
But you do realize you're
Back
making a valid point in the sense that, and you're adding to my point, that you want to train.
Oh, this is Angela. Oh, this
Hold
is
on,
the
you
way
want to
forward.
train a Barbadian, right? So that a Barbadian in the end can take
get
over
your
the
point.
entity, right? And I
But who said if ever in Jamaica bringing my company to Barbados, that you will ever get my company to take over? You the clown?
But it is not. A
Where's
matter
my? I want my child.
It is not a
Correct.
matter of you bringing your child. It is a matter of.
But
obeying
son is the thing. Who you can train and see
laws
you?
in Barbados.
Who- what
The
son
laws
can train
clearly
to you?
hold on. The laws clearly state you can bring somebody to work in Barbados if you cannot find in Barbados a person who has the said skill.
Okay, fair enough. All right, good. We want to
So don't
just
tell me I
hello.
talking foolishness.
You talking ignorance, not
No, I'm not
foolishness.
talking ignorance. You are talking
Yeah.
ignorance.
Anyhow, that's a good point to leave on. We can touch on these. The show is about the way forward. One thing I find fascinating is that people think that the way forward is always about a one topic. All of this is way forward. How we look at our tourism industry, how we look at LIAT, how we look at our ministers, how we look at this. The discussion is always meaningful. I made a comment that, well, the discussion is open to different topics because it's like a brother. I never seen a boy called brother when they set a topic at brother. Like I said, today we dealing with yard fowl, that we stick to yard fowl. People's gone chicken fowl, here, there, everywhere. It's a discussion, and we open to discussion. And I think that the numbers in itself, or the amount of people watching, is proof that the show is still
150 people.
there's been a thing, right? So we want to thank each and every one of you for watching. We try to bring the show, we try to bring every aspect, we try to stay on topic as for many of you, but I think the conversation is meaningful, and I always ask people to look at these meaningful things. We are not discussing white privilege. I see Mr. Justin has been spilling that all night.
Yeah, I want to speak there in 2 minutes before I leave.
2 minutes, we will give you the closing remarks, and you can address it, Patrick.
Justin Bruce, you're concerned about white privileges. And one of the reasons why I have decided to stay away from this whole topic of Black Lives Matters, because that we cannot be seriously talking about Black Lives Matters in this country with the exclusion of a number of things that confront us as blacks. Yes, I have you got my full support as it relates to seeking to bring a balance where this whole issue of white privileges are concerned. But the bottom line is that if you want me to join you in Black Lives Matters, We gotta stop selling cocaine to be one another through the alleys and the blocks. That can cause Bob to come when he go home back to my house and carry the video and TV and sell it on the block, or sell it to somebody coming in the street for $50 only because he want to buy cocaine. If we want out Black Lives Matter, we go put down the guns and stop killing one another, because we had 49 murders last year and no white man killed a black man in Barbados, you know. They were all blacks brought before the courts for shooting, killing, wounding, and all kinds of things. So I'm prepared to join any discussion or any march in this country, Black Lives Matter, when we have come to the realization that there are a number of things that we have to take serious as black individuals. When we keep the disrespecting our people, we got a court system that is fair. We ain't got no white judges on the bench. All the judges done break down black. We got magistrates that black. We got police prosecutors that black. That telling lies in the court when the day come, hiding files, refusing to speak on issues honestly so against the own black people. So don't come and tell me about Black Lives Matter and the white and you got a concern about the white man when we in all together in unison with each other as it relates to the simple things that confront us on a daily basis.
Thank you. I see here you have a question here, Justin, about do you think your grandmother should still be cleaning white people's house and handing out their clothes? Yes, if it's an honest day job, paying an honest day salary, and she bring it home to feed a bunch of children, that thing is better than no job. I have no problem with that. I would even go and do it. So I think we get these stories too twisted about what the job is. If it's honest, it's better than I would like to see somebody say young boys on the block go along and wash do the same cleaning and cutting the lawn for the white man. I have no problem. Better than them killing one another or using drugs. So again, we have to look at these things, and when we look at these things, we have to look at these things with a little bit more thing. But we want to thank each and every one of you for your viewership. We ask that you like our page to see when next we coming on. It's the DeBrief TV show. Like us, follow us, so you are aware of the next show. Next week is going to be another hot topic. We have some interesting guests lined up. We really want to thank Patrick King for coming through out of his busy time and for staying with us for so long and for engaging in meaningful discussion. We hope to see that you guys will join us again soon. Next week, Tuesday, same time, 6:30, as we talk to our next guest. DeBrief, thank you very much. Our numbers are growing. We can see that people are really interested in what the DeBrief have to say. Thank each and every one of you for making the show. Next time, yes, Justin, next time. And we ask that each and every one of you have a blessed, safe, COVID-free week until we see you again next week. This is the DeBrief tuning out. Have a good night, everyone.